know how good a job from a puppeteer would be? Insane.
How are you jacking me off and stroking my balls with one hand?
You know when you do that thing where you like grab someone's arm and their fingers clench up? There's got to be a spot in the asshole where a puppeteer could make me dance. Hey guys.
Oh yeah, hey guys, how you doing?
We're back.
I'm General Sam here with,
and I'm Papa Peewee.
Yeah, and we're just two podcasting guys here for
we've had
a regular old episode.
Yeah,
no guests.
We've had two pretty good guests in a row. It's we've been hitting our stride a little bit, so we thought we'd take a step back. Don't want to spoil anyone.
Not because people stopped answering emails, but because we wanted to just do the two of us.
We actually have a ton of emails.
Yeah.
And
there's people fighting to get on here, and we had to say, you know what, pump the brakes, kids. It's just me and Poob today.
Yeah, Sam had 1 million views on a video, so the emails have been rolling in.
Yes.
So
yeah,
we actually have a lot of options.
Yep. A lot of
but
options.
We thought it's good to go. Scholar, come. Scholar, come. Movies. Porn.
Porn's gone. That's been phased out of my life now. Because of
Did Abby start putting out?
No, the fucking bans, dude. Porn ban. It's crimping crimping my shit. It's the fact that I have to run a VPN. That means I have to get on like my computer. I'm not putting a VPN on my phone. That's weird.
It does unfortunately add a step where you feel even dirtier.
Yeah.
And more sinful for watching porn when I have to connect and watch an ad on my free VPN. And then when I disconnect, I have to watch an ad after I have my post-nut clarity where I'm just like, get all this off my phone. I don't want to see any of this. I want to be back in the real world.
Yeah.
It adds elements.
So I've had a lot of arguments with people where they're like, why the hell would you ever watch porn on your computer? And I'm like, my thought process is, the device is tainted once pornography is looked at on it. Because what comes with pornography? Jacking off. Okay.
Jacking off.
It's tainted. The entire, this whole system is tainted. I am not going to jack off with my phone. And because like the amount of times I pass off my phone to other people, I'm giving you my masturbation device.
I've never thought of that.
You know? No. There's no way.
Never thought about when I take someone else's phone.
Yeah, they've sat there and looked at that screen and tugged one out. That's insane. So yeah, I'm a computer, TV type guy. But
I'd be interested in some sort of headgear that holds my phone right here when I'm jerking off, because sometimes I need two hands. So
that would be cool. That actually would be pretty badass.
That would be actually odd, because I do hate holding.
Yeah, like a harmonica stand, but
exactly
tilted up. Yeah, dude.
Maybe you could even put a harmonica.
You could be like Blues Traveler, but instead of having like that suspenders with all the like jingly things on them and the harmonica, it could be like lube and tissues.
So we were talking about the one-man band before this. You could have a little thing you pull and it like slaps your penis around. You could have a little lotion
one-man
kick. Yeah.
A hi-hat pedal and it fucking shove something up your ass.
2 drumsticks. Whoop.
Guys, we're going to have a regular episode. We just have to get this out because we couldn't last episode.
We couldn't. There was no room to talk about these kinds of ideas last time.
He brought up that crippled king, and we had to just, we couldn't say anything about it. Couldn't joke about it once.
Couldn't talk about bringing in the A-team to deal with them. Couldn't talk about it. Nothing. Yeah. That man was a scholar, and he was good at not letting us talk over him. Because every time I made a remark, he just went, okay, well, anyway. Or he just didn't acknowledge it. Yeah. My awesome tire joke, one of the best jokes ever, he didn't even acknowledge.
Yeah.
But
he was a cool guy. He was a cool guy.
He was a cool. I mean, yeah, I really actually liked both our last guests. We didn't have really time to talk about either, but the paranormal man was very cool, very nice, informative. Didn't take his job like too seriously, which I really appreciated.
Although I kind of want a little bit like a guy.
You do want a nut job.
Yeah, I kind of want. If there's a guest on here, I kind of want him to be like a little bit off, you know.
Well,
but
as always, we don't know what our audience wants, and it seems like they liked.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, it's so disappointing. This guy's just actually serious and informative. Everyone's like, best guess ever. Okay, well, I guess we'll have a fucking librarian on next episode, okay?
Yeah.
I'll have my grandma on. She can talk about fucking churning butter or something.
There's a channel called
jokes.
The Townsends, where it's this guy that lives like it's the 1700s every day, except for he has a camera. But he has like age appropriate clothing. He wears like a little chef hat like thing on top of his head, and he goes and makes like wood fired food, like loaves of bread and stuff, and hardtack and all sorts of weird crap. And he's like built canoes the old fashioned way, and seems like an awesome guest. But
wait, have you seen that guy on TikTok? His name's like, what's his name? Like, he's like, hi there, no, that's so wrong. He kind of sounds like Kermit, or I don't know. He sounds very odd, but he's like an autistic man that is very into like Victorian era and stuff. And or maybe it's not even Victorian. Maybe it's like 1900. I don't know. When is Victorian era? It doesn't matter. But he wears like plumey stuff in his whole house.
Is he British?
He's like, no.
Okay.
He's American, but he has like an old timey car that he drives. And he's also like incredibly good at like old timey electricity. And he has like all these devices that just look like they would explode and burn his house down.
Yeah.
But he's like, God damn it. I'm not an impression guy, but he's like, hold on, let me get this. He's like, no, way off. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You know who I'm talking about if I can nail the impression.
By the way, pause for a second, audience. Before this episode started, we sat there for like 10 minutes trying to do a Christopher Walken impression.
It's harder than you think.
Neither of us could, and then we're like, let's just give up and start the episode.
Yeah, we're not those kinds of comedians. Okay, we don't do impression. This is my best one. Oh, hi. No. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We couldn't get it. Sam actually got pretty close.
The closest I could get was just like, well, and that's it.
That's pretty good. If you can get even a noise or a word, I think the impression, you don't need to do an impression where you read a fucking book.
Yeah.
A good impression, you can tell who it is by one syllable.
Mm-hmm. See, that was guy.
Who was that?
I don't know. I was hoping you were going to do your plankton like.
That was roly-poly guacamole.
Oh, okay. Fuck.
My plankton, yeah.
Anyways, back to this Victorian guy.
Well, you go back to your 1700s guy, but
oh yeah, well, having a person like that on the podcast would be cool, but the problem is he's so wholesome. Like he had Joe Pera on his show.
Oh wait, maybe I have seen this guy.
And, you know, it was just like the most wholesome shit in the world. Them sitting there like doing, you know, let's make a little candle. I'm like, we can't have this guy on here. This guy would think we're animals. I know Stalt's a big fan of the Townsend, so he's probably like, I don't even want that guy knowing you exist, Sam. I don't even want him.
Don't want us ruining him.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like he is one of those people that I watch, and I don't think I want him to know I exist either. Yeah, I don't want to meet him.
You want to lurk.
Yeah, I just kind of want to just watch him. Yeah.
We could have another episode where we just let him talk the whole time. Apparently, that could go well.
Yeah, it could.
We could just bite our tongue every time he says something that's just a perfect alley-oop into a disgusting joke.
Yeah.
You know how hard that is for us to hold our tongues? But, I think it helped that Sir Jason Kingsley, I don't think he's a sir, but Jason, we call him Jay. Jay was just, you can tell he's used to talking to underlings as the CEO. So he just kind of commandeered in a way that we just fell into line.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell that guy when he said confident, like, I own businesses, I can tell.
Yeah. I went, sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Pip really liked it. When he said that Carl, if you're watching this, this guy's on another planet. That might have been the funniest part of the episode, just him going, I'm really good friends with Carl Urban.
Carl, if you're watching this,
I don't even think he was joking. Yeah. And before the episode, he asked us if we had ever been on BBC. I'm like, no, I think he
views like traditional media as media, and then he's like, YouTube's like a little side thing. Like it's like a lesser. You know,
what did he think we were?
we're like big
was
studio
like,
guys, and then
he asked like, "You guys ever been on the news? Like done a BBC interview?"
No.
When?
Yeah,
when would that have?
be?
I don't think he checked our channel. I feel bad. I feel like he's gonna find out that we just did a public apology a month ago. He's gonna find that out too late.
Yeah. The most I've ever done, like traditional media wise, was I got an email from Warner Brothers, and only because they were distributing and publishing a Hitman game. And I remember when I got that email and they flew me out to LA to like do some sort of Hitman thing. My uncle was like, you need to cozy up to them. Like he was complete. This guy was like a roofer from Florida. He would talk about like his heyday was right after Hurricane Kate came through and ripped all the roofs off the houses. He's like, as a roofer, buddy, I was eating good. I worked myself to the bone, but the year after that, I was eating high on the hog. And the second he heard that I got a Warner Brothers thing, he's like, let me tell you how to do this. I'm like, dude, you don't know how to do much besides roofing. What
you're going to want to do is put the tar down.
Yeah.
The tar is the conversation, and the shingles are the schmoozing, okay? Networking's like roofing.
Yeah.
The roof is your money. That rocks. I mean, most my big foray, I was in a couple local newspapers for winning, like competitions and stuff. But
I forgot now. My church had there was like a youth ambassador group where they sent all these kids off to like some other country to do missionary work, and when they came back, they took a big picture of them, and apparently I just slipped into the picture like front and center. And so there's like this big picture in the local newspaper where they're like, these young kids are going to Africa to teach them about Christianity and build houses. And I'm just
kid you from everything. You probably did it maliciously. Probably did it ironically.
I was like, oh, they're all wearing the same outfit. And then I'm just there with a different shirt on. Like they all have like a team outfit on. I'm in the picture. I get credited as a kid that's going over to Africa to help them out. I have no idea. I don't even remember taking the picture.
Dude, I don't know why this just reminded me of another thing that feels like something you would do. It's like two of my best friends, for one of the things that like, I don't want to like dox it, but like we won like some big competition. Then the year after they like opened them up to like a more national stage and they won like a bigger award. And it was such a big deal in our town. And they had like so much of the town lined up for these kids to take this big picture. And my friend pantsed cash right before the picture was taken and pulled his underwear and shorts down. And he like flashed like our principal and half the town. And that kid got in so much fucking trouble. But in the moment, it's like, this was supposed to be such a mature, like, look at these little heroes. Yeah. Like, they're so smart. And then little boy brain's like, it'd be funny to just pants him right now. And it won out. It was like, everything else went out the window. All the training, all the like making us into like little adults that are like, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Just completely out the window just to pants a guy. And he accidentally grabbed a little underwear too. And got like suspended or something. But it was just such a funny, like, I remember my friend's parents were so mad because they were like, it was such a big deal. And then they saw like their son's penis or something. It just like completely took away. I think he got it pretty quick. I mean, this was a phase where I think people were pantsing him a lot. Yeah. So he was. That
goes through childhood.
Place too.
It's like 7th grade to like 9th grade. It's like prime.
Yeah, this was 8th grade. Yeah. This was prime pantsing. Prime pantsing. Yeah.
A lot of like, oh, you're passing by your homie in the hallway. You keep your binder in front of you. 1, for the boners, and 2, because doing nut shots was super popular.
Dude,
there was
boners, awful.
Yeah, awful at that time.
Getting boners is awful, especially when you're hogged up. No hiding it.
Well, that's why you have the binder there in front.
Yeah, but it's like,
we know why you're carrying the binder like that.
Yeah. Do you? At the time, it always felt so subtle. Do you think well, this is gross to think of a teacher being like, that kid's got a boner, but do you think every adult there's like,
yeah, we know. Yeah.
I know why you're.
Well, now that I am an adult, I realize that my teachers in middle school were my age now. And I can't imagine being lit around
Shaking
kids.
the
No,
youth.
no, I can imagine being a teacher to kids and not just being like, you
Move
have
that
to have
binder.
that professional, like rapport where you can't say like, dude, you're fucking boner, dude. Like hide that up. You can't just point it out.
Hey, buddy, I noticed you didn't have a binder.
Yeah.
I'd be the cool teacher. Here, I brought a binder from home. It's
What,
got
like
a
it's
hole
a
cut in the
fancy
bottom of
restaurant?
it.
Oh, you didn't bring a blazer? Here you go. Here's the
Yeah.
house tie.
Yeah. Well, you've seen those videos where it's like, I'm a teacher, and like, here's how I'd tell a student they're stinky. Like, hey, buddy, I noticed that you haven't been putting deodorant on lately. Like, just things that as a kid would be horrifying. Like, I don't know how
Dude,
I
I
deal with
noticed
that.
you
Yeah,
reek
just
like
kid
shit.
that's- yeah. I notice people are avoiding you because you're really stinky.
You see how
and
my
poor.
eyes are watering? It's because of you.
Yeah.
And I think this would help you out. Here you go.
You see those flies kind of circling you? Yeah, not normal. Sorry, buddy. Also, your boner's totally showing, and you got a little bit of a poop stain on your back. Yeah, I don't know how teachers like do. That is interesting to think of. Like, I did have a lot of teachers that were like fresh out of college.
Yeah.
And I feel like they maintain such a like serious, like, I'm an adult. And like a lot of the kids were just assholes to the younger teachers. And like, how do you not just choke a kid out at some point?
I think it would be really hard. I think I could do well as a temp, but you get comfortable in that position. A year in, 2 years in, I could see striking a child for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There would be that one
Some
kid.
teachers can get away with that.
Yeah.
If you got tenure.
Yeah. I'll wait till I
You've
have
been there long
tenure
enough.
and then I'm going to haymaker a kid for sure.
I've said this multiple times. So I remember there was a teacher that got a knife pulled on him by a student and he like cried.
Oh, really?
You lose all respect. Okay. Your respect is gone.
I feel like once a knife
Also,
is pulled
that
on
kid
you,
didn't get expelled.
if he did like some John Wick shit, he probably would have gotten away with it. It's like I feared for my life. Of course, I snapped his arm like Steven Seagal, like pull it.
Yeah.
And
Try to strike me. Secondhand lion.
Yeah. Like if he would have just like leg swept the kid and done an axe kick to the top of his head,
Yeah.
I don't
Kick the desk and then grab his head and slam it down a bunch.
like once you pull a knife, there would have been my entire career's
Put a
worth of
textbook on the
aggression
table,
towards
snap.
kids taken
Yeah.
out on that one child.
Yeah.
I'm waiting
I
for
walked
you.
in next period and he's like, you're not a threat. You're 5'2". Then he went over. I'm going to show you guys self-defense. Grab my wrist. Ah! There was some dude. Everyone's got weird teachers, but we had a real weirdo that I'm pretty sure ended up getting fired for like sexual misconduct or something. But he would, any like boy that walked by his class, he'd be like, "Oh, he would always find an excuse like you're walking too fast, you're chewing bubble gum, blah, give me push-ups." And stupid little boys are always like, "Okay, I'll do push-ups." He wasn't even the gym teacher. He was like a history teacher, and he'd make kids do push-ups all the time. And then he had like girls that would be his favorites that would like be his assistant all. It was just super.
Yeah.
Like now as an adult, I'm like very obvious creep. But at the time I was just like, well, I hope this guy doesn't make me do push-ups and I look like a pussy.
Yeah.
But like looking back on it, it's like, ooh, that guy was incredibly creepy. And our kid brains weren't able to be like, red flag. He keeps a girl after in his class all the time.
I had a teacher that was my favorite, and we had a bond, and he got me a first edition The Shining by Stephen King, and
That's really cool.
he was just really cool, and we would talk to each other about books and stuff, and then we had
Can you
the
recreate some scenes from The Shining, the bath scene?
yeah. And pretend this classroom is room 214 or whatever from the book.
That guy likes drinking beers. Why don't you have one, boy?
And we had like the DC trip. And I didn't get to
Dick and cock trip from the teacher.
I didn't get to go on account of me being a bad boy. I'd done something, I forget what, but there was some behavioral issue. Oh, I fought a kid. In gym class in the locker room. It didn't like go well, so it wasn't like a heroic fight or
That's
anything.
even more embarrassing.
Yeah.
Got your ass kicked. Couldn't go on a
I
trip.
wouldn't say ass kicked, but it was one of those where like nobody was a clear winner.
Yeah. So then it just comes up to who talks more after.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And it was definitely one of those situations where my loud mouth got me in trouble, and I was like, I definitely like this ass beating was was warranted. You know, like
Yeah.
I was hoping they didn't ask too many questions about what started it, and we're more focused on who hit who
On the draw.
Yeah. Let's
focus on the tie.
Let's fucking forget context, dude. Context doesn't matter. And anyways, so I didn't get to go to DC. After DC, all of a sudden that teacher's gone. Apparently he was inappropriate with some of the girls at DC, and so my fucking favorite teacher left after that.
That sucks.
Yeah, but then I saw him.
Luckily, none of them.
I saw him again when I went to community college, and
Was he a teacher?
he was a teacher there. Yeah, I guess they were like, oh, you're gonna fuck kids? Well, at least we'll make your students over 18, and so
We'll help you out.
yeah,
here.
they moved him over to a college. But yeah, I actually
That's
vividly remember.
saying that you can still teach.
I know, right?
for that.
They just kind of move you around like the churches do. They go, oh, you're
Yeah.
a bad boy. We'll move you over to a different place where they don't care so much.
Town over.
Yep. Hey, you do this too much. We're gonna move you to a place that's poor, like Mississippi
Yeah.
or West Virginia.
It's too much. You might get a raise. Okay, you might become an athletic director or
Yeah.
something.
A couple more rapes and you might be an archbishop. All right. We're gonna play not a whole lot of
the
accessibility
inner
to
circle.
kids. Yeah. But
God.
uh,
Oh, that's just. Oh, wait, sorry.
I do have like an awesome thing that it's a mystery that's been resolved recently.
Oh,
It's
I like
and
that.
not a mystery. I want to say like
A riddle.
it is a mystery. Okay. Last
Okay.
time we went to, it wasn't last TwitchCon. It was TwitchCon before. Remember when I was
Was that Vegas?
maybe the one before that? Maybe.
So first San
Yeah,
Diego.
first San Diego.
we went to? Okay.
Remember where there was like the Tarkov booth and it was when Omid got like cut out of that competition?
Is that 3 years ago? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I remember that though.
Okay. And
Yeah, I remember because I had to wake up at fucking like 8 a.m. to go to it, and then he still
after
got,
being
I was
out
pissed
till like
off
4
for
a.m.
two
or
reasons,
something.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that, like all the people went up and like they were doing like the interviews of everybody that played during that competition, and I was up there.
Oh, and that kid like walked up there.
Yeah, the kid that was next to me with that, and we felt his shirt, and he had the wire.
Yeah.
I got a random email from that guy.
He recorded a lot of confidential things.
He made a video of him going to TwitchCon, and he has
Christ.
clips from, it's like his perspective where he's just like, yeah, he's like, he was just walking in random places. Anywhere he could go, he was just walking in there with he had his little mic on and everything.
Yeah, no, I'm in like the back rooms of TwitchCon, dude. Look at this shit. Where am I? I don't think I'm supposed to be here.
But it's pretty awesome. He's like a smaller YouTuber, but
Yeah,
it is
like,
kind of
that's
cool to
kinda
get his
cool.
perspective.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. You don't want to be a guy caught on wire, on a hot wire.
Yeah.
It's like when I see like TikTok pranks and I'm like, that's pretty funny. But if I was the guy being pranked, I'd be like irate.
Yeah.
I don't actually think he caught too much. Just maybe some shit talk on some devs. And,
I don't think he put any of that in. Nor do
Okay.
I think he put in the part where he followed us for an unusual amount of time and we had to tell him to fuck off.
yeah.
But
That's so, as a non-confrontational person, that was so awkward.
yeah. Yeah. Check out this like Stalt
What the
play
fuck?
the intro so you can see him.
a final round. So, I mean, it's not like they didn't just blow you out.
General Sam, Airwig Marine, Summit 1G. And if you pay attention to that little guy in the back there who's not saying a lot because he doesn't want to get in trouble, that's me. YouTuber, my name is Hayden, 180 subs. Why am I up there? Well, I'm not supposed to be, you see. I went to TwitchCon 2023 and I got into some stuff that I had no clue I would get into. And I've recorded most of it, but we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. Let me start from the very beginning.
Did he just drove there by himself?
I have no idea. It's honestly a funny video. It's a good watch, dude. And at the very end, he just plays like oh no, that was definitely the Vegas one because the podcast has like the poker table or the craps table.
Oh yeah, this was. So, God, TwitchCons kind of blend together,
I know they do, don't
especially
they?
now that they're going to be at Vegas for the next like 4 years again, or not Vegas, San Diego. Jeez.
Thank God. I was not a fan of Vegas. It's a sad place.
Okay, can I say though that I didn't love Vegas also because we had fucking F1 going on, so the traffic was like worse than usual. But not to sound too high and mighty, but the partner lounge in Vegas was incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible balcony with a view of the orb or whatever, the sphere.
That's true. That's true.
And that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a clip from our podcast in this too.
Yeah.
Are we shit talking him?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. He keeps it in there though.
Okay.
He seemed to take it
I'll
in
have to check
stride.
that.
Yeah.
I mean,
that
you gotta,
video
if you're,
is
if you're
definitely
being a creep. You gotta.
He comes off a lot better in that video than he did in our short correspondence, standing up there at the Tarkov event.
Well, yeah, it's awkward when a person comes up to you and it's like, like, I can't believe I'm talking.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I also get weirded out when someone's like standing over my shoulder, and you can see in that he's like kind of behind me, like a little bit, just like
Yeah.
every time I would turn, he'd be right fucking there.
Why are you flanking me?
Yeah.
Why are you? Yeah, it puts you in your survival.
Yeah.
Like, it's fight or flight.
Do you have that issue at like restaurants and stuff? When I go into a restaurant, I want to be able to see the door. I don't like to have those. Like my most hated thing is when I go to a restaurant and one side has a booth, and then there's a table, and then the other side just has a chair, like just a chair.
Oh, yeah.
If I sit in that chair, I almost feel like getting up and just going home. I'm like, I'm not going to enjoy this meal because I can't
You know what? I'm gonna
relax.
keep that in mind. I'm gonna accommodate you next time we eat out because I don't really care where I sit in a restaurant.
Are you
so
kidding
you can
me?
always
If I'm uncomfortable and I feel like there's a chance someone could come up behind me and put a bag over my head and zip tie it around my neck without me knowing before it happens,
If I feel wind hit the back of my head, I'm going fingers right here. Okay.
First thing you're doing.
So the garrote cuts off my fingers first, then my
Like
neck. But
even in a car, I can't sit in the passenger seat if I know someone's behind me. It's fine with the girls
see, for
because they're
me,
they're strapped into their little car seats.
Yeah.
But if someone can just like reach through the headrest and like touch the back of my head,
it doesn't matter who it is. Like you're not going to
it
take into
weirds me
account.
out.
Like
I won't fall asleep. I can't
Okay.
fall asleep. I can't really settle.
Like,
You know.
you can't be like, oh, my grandma's probably not going to choke me out from behind, but a prankster.
Well, my grandma's shoulders don't work so good. She can't even
Yeah.
really like bring a sandwich up to her mouth. So yeah, I think I would be able to relax with her. But yeah,
I'm saying. If she could get you through the side by the chair and the door, she could put her fingers through there.
her little gnarled hand.
Yeah. Let me get just a little bit of touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have to worry about that, so I'm not going to think about it too heavily because I kind of like my ignorance in that. If I'm in a place where I feel like there could, listen, as men, we have to assess threat level.
Yeah.
You have to assess, could I beat that guy in a fight?
Yep.
Could I outrun that guy?
Yep.
You have to assess everyone's stats. You have to imagine yourself fighting them and winning. And
That's where the suspension of disbelief comes in, where I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay, so I looked at 99% of people and I go, there's no way I'm outrunning them. So then I have to fight.
Yeah.
And then at that point, the loss immediately comes in most of the time. I really need to start, carrying around like maybe like a
kunai.
like a big gauntlet with big fucking spike knuckles or something in case I get into a fight. I can put it on really quick.
No one's gonna want to fight you if you're just walking around wearing that.
Yeah.
Are brass knuckles still illegal?
They
I feel
are,
like that would just be
yeah.
a nice.
They're
That's why I get a
illegal
big
because
ring.
if you get into a fight, you can just kill someone in one punch. They're ridiculous. It's like getting hit with
I
a
guess
brick.
It should be illegal for me to fight someone. Then okay. This is so cheesy and stupid, but if I'm at like a gas station where people are like oddly like checking me, there's just a lot of gas stations around here where it's like I wouldn't want to be here at 2 a.m. But I'll put my ring on my right hand sometimes, just like, all right, if this comes to it, I'm gonna cut their cheek a little bit.
Yeah,
with this ring,
maybe. Yeah.
Or if I'm in a really bad spot, I'll take my ring off and put it in my pocket because I
Because
don't want to
wanna
draw
be
any
seen.
attention. And I also this is just a weird. I feel like this isn't Seinfeld or something, but any time I go anywhere in public where I'm like just not in a great area, I just look really angry. I just make my face look like either distraught like I'm just had the worst news ever, or like I'm just really pissed off, because then it's like I feel like I'm less likely for someone to talk to me.
I weep and I laugh at the same time. And I got tears streaming down my cheeks.
Oh God, why? Oh.
And people don't fuck with you at
you.
all. They don't fuck with a guy crying and laughing at the same time.
No, I think that's a very viable strategy. Yeah. Like a homeless guy's not going to ask you for money if you're like.
Yeah, I peel back some of my face. Just some
I
of it.
feel the dark passenger right now. I feel him. Oh, I feel him. Oh, joy.
Have you seen that video of the guy just waiting in line at a gas station to, like, you know, buy gas or whatever? And a person just walks in with an axe, walks past him, and then comes up behind him and just fucking axes him in the side of the head.
Nope.
And thankfully, maybe the axe is dull, maybe they suck at edge alignment or something. It doesn't immediately just bury in his head and kill him. He definitely just gets hit in the head and he falls to the floor and he's like, ah,
why?
My head. It probably like shattered his jaw. But
yeah.
Like stuff like that, there is no reason in a million years you should suspect a guy to come in with an axe. But I just saw a video.
Look at every guy that comes in.
There's a video of it happening to a poor guy. So now I'm like, there is the chance. The chance is there that I could be. Like, I know it's ridiculous. No, I'm eating breakfast.
Saw a video of a guy winning the lottery. You know,
Yeah,
life gives, it takes.
Well, I would hope that there's no chance in hell that guy walked out of there and won the lottery. Oh, I got axed in the face, but thank God I got a winning ticket. But yeah, what if the guy swinging the axe was like, give me a lottery ticket too?
Yeah.
He wins?
Takes it off the guy in line. Holy shit, I just won $1 million. I'm going to go spend it on more scratchers. No.
More axes too. A sharper axe.
I'm thinking 1,000 axes first. And then I'm thinking a million scratchers. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am like constantly have my head on a swivel, like anytime, you know, it's just, you gotta.
We should be.
The world's crazy. That's why I want to live in a nicer neighborhood, so I don't have to constantly be like, is a man going to?
We should channel this like paranoia into being those, you know, like the gun YouTubers. Those guys are like, there's always a reason for a gun. You gotta have a gun. You gotta weasel a gun into every situation. And we'll start carrying all the time. Little ankle holster, gun there, gun.
I would like a boots with a revolver in it.
I think that'd be cool. I want that belt buckle from Dusk Till Dawn that has it like flips down and it has a barrel where the penis is, 2 cylinders where the balls
really
are.
Cool. I think just like those leather.
Oh, the shoulder holsters.
Times. Yeah.
Yeah, those would be sick.
Like Rush Hour or something. I can't remember what movie has this? Bad Boys. I don't know.
Every cop movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want those double holsters, and maybe they don't even have to have guns in them. Maybe it's just a handle for a gun, but you open up your coat a little bit.
Yeah.
That's going to do something.
Oh, that'd be cool. Like a fork and a knife that just have pistol grips. So you could just flash them and then.
I saw a knife for sale. Everyone's those cheesy ass knives. It's just like a revolver that has a knife come out of it. Like that. One of those and one of the revolvers that just says bang and unfurls a little flag.
Yeah. Do you understand how much I've tried to find one of those? The revolver.
Like, you've told me this before, and they're like not.
They don't make them. Nobody makes them. There is the one type, and it doesn't even look like a gun, and it like unfolds like this, and then says like bang, and it's super lame, and they're like $12. I'm talking.
I feel like you could get someone to make you one.
Yeah, I want
like custom order.
I want the cops to shoot me for brandishing before I pull the trigger, and then as I'm falling, I pull it, and they see the little flag come out.
I want it to be a gun, but I pull it out, and it's just got a cigar on the end. Gran Torino or whatever. That'd be cool at your next ranch day to just have a gun that just
range day
just says bang.
Yeah, you know what's weird is I got a bunch of messages from people that were going, and they were like, hey dude, I can't wait to see you again. And then they had another range day. They didn't invite me. Yeah, oh well.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah, when people are like, or when you don't get invited to something, they're like, why weren't you there?
Yeah. I didn't get invited a second time. It's probably because as soon as I went to the range day thing, I came back here, I was like, there's like a lot of like politically charged people there.
Yeah. See, there's an air of racism here. Invite me back.
Yeah.
I'd love to come again.
Wait, speaking of that, did you see Kanye's like his like merch store during the
Jesus
Super Bowl?
I mean, I'm genuinely not that shocked because he's been losing his fucking mind for like 2 years.
Yeah.
But I was still a little like his tweets for the last week have just. He's got like bipolar.
Yeah.
He's having like a full-on manic episode that's probably not being helped by the amount of nitrous he's done.
Yeah. Are you trying to just sweep his anti-Semitism under the rug of bipolar disorder?
I just saw his tweets in one day go from like, I'm a Nazi, hail Hitler. Well, don't clip that. To like, I'm sorry, Jews. I love porn. Thank you so much for porn, Jews. I just don't. I don't think he actually believes.
It is one of their best things they've given us.
I didn't even know they gave us that. Thank you.
I think
so
that's
much.
that's like.
Tell your dad I said thank you. Or is that a conspiracy?
I think it's a
theory
conspiracy theory that like they're promoting like interracial relationships through pornography because of the prevalence of interracial porn, and all the porn companies are owned by Jewish guys, but Jewish people only want Jewish people to marry other Jewish people. So they're like, the theory is they're trying to dilute everybody else's bloodlines or something. And I'm like, I think there's a market, and you guys are jerking off to interracial porn, and they're providing it. I think is more.
I think your porn feed gets based on what you click.
Yeah.
And there's an algorithm.
Yeah. But I think it's kind of awesome that the biggest like seller of white supremacist merch in the U.S. is a black guy. Kanye West. He sold 100,000 swastika shirts.
10 years ago, I'd be like, what are you talking about?
Who buys that? He sold 100,000 of them? That's insane.
Hype beast. Yeah, I gotta get this limited edition.
I've been talking about like I took my merch store down like a year ago, and I'm like, I
just got an idea.
I've been putting together merch that I'm like, I want it to be something that you don't buy it and it just sits in the closet. I want it to be something that you will wear out. I feel like there's going to be 100,000 swastika shirts sitting in people's closets. There's no way they're going to wear it.
Some of them in Cincinnati the other day. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, there's just a massive Nazi march in Cincinnati, but it was in like a very predominantly black neighborhood, and they got like run out very quickly.
Oh yeah, they ran them off. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, this is kind of off topic of Nazis. I know you want to talk about it more, but
my God, yeah, I could go
finding that line in a YouTuber merch where it's wearable.
Yeah,
it's very hard.
It's hard. That's hard.
It's not just like General Sam.
Yeah,
with the logo on it. It's like,
if it has my face on it, I failed. I failed.
You want it to be. I mean, I've got no place to talk. Some of mine's pretty nerdy, but I think Purple's and Sensei and everyone did like a really good job, Chrome, of like, I wanted them this time to be. It's like, would I wear this?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of nerds would just wear like a Zelda shirt and, cargo shorts, and they've got no shame about it, but I would like them to be slightly elevated.
Cargo shorts are back. Okay.
No, cargo pants are back. Cargo shorts are
well, we're only maybe a month or two out from them realizing we can make these shorter. We can take the cargo pants. Now, when the cargo pants are in that you can unzip the bottom and turn them into shorts.
Was my favorite pants.
Yeah, those rock.
And I left them at Bizzle's, and I don't know if I'll ever see those pants again. I need to.
Oh shit!
All I have now are the legs.
You just have the zip up
because they became my favorite pair of shorts, and then now I don't have them,
fuck.
and I just have the. I can like, what can I do with these legs?
Yeah.
I gotta find some to do it. Put them on these shorts. I don't know if that'd work.
Yeah. When I played basketball when I was young, my mom was like, "Oh, if it's cold, you have the basketball shorts on. We're gonna give you some of these Umbro. They're like
tearaway.
Yeah, the tearaway pants.
Those rock.
Dude,
yeah.
I was probably 9. Felt like a fucking superhero being on the sidelines and going like, and then the coach would be like, "All right, guys, let's go. Let's get out on the thing." And I would just rip off my pants like it was a fucking cape. Throw them at my mom.
Worse is when you forget to wear shorts under.
Yeah.
You rip them off, butt naked. Oh God! And you gotta button up each part. Look away! Look away! Don't look at me.
Yeah.
Slowly button them up.
Those were awesome. Those pants.
Those are really cool. You can probably still buy those too.
I'm
right?
sure that nobody would just throw away that kind of ingenuity. Never to be
I
made
just got
again.
an idea for a Creator Clash outfit.
Just a couple tearaways.
We all, before we sit down, 4 in a row. That would be sweet.
That would be.
Then we just throw them into the stands and get kicked out.
I do have a slight problem. I think one of my daughter's birthdays is like right next to Creator Clash.
Is it the younger one?
No, it's the older one.
Damn, I was going to say you can just tell her birthday is like a week later.
Yeah.
They don't know. Well, even the older one, you could probably get away with.
No, she's.
Listen, dude, I already
she
bought
knows.
an extra ticket.
Yeah,
okay?
I know. No,
I can't get rid of 2 tickets.
we're gonna try to do the birthday.
We could bring her. I've got that extra
Yeah,
ticket.
that's true. No, she's getting smart enough that it's she's keeping track of things. She's understanding things. There's okay. This is a little bit of it. We're gonna get to the
She's
video
evolving.
game part of this. She's figured out what Minecraft is. Started playing Minecraft on my second PC, and I've now moved it and put it down on a little table. And she goes in there and starts playing Minecraft. And at first, she would just she didn't understand. I was like, dude, you need to hit the trees and get the wood
Brown brick.
to make a house. And she's like, why would I make a house? And I'm like, how do you explain that to a kid? Like, she's like, why the fuck would I make that? And I'm like, okay, well, she's like, I'm just going to
Why don't
walk
you dig
around.
3 blocks down and put a block over your head then.
Well, she's
You live
like,
in the
why would
dirt.
I ever need, she's like, I'm not going to like burn to death out in the sun. I'm like, okay, that's true. And then, the zombies start coming out at night. She's discovered the villages that you can
Have villagers.
Yeah, that have villagers. And so she'll hang out in there, wait until nighttime when all the monsters and creepies and crawlies come out, and she'll just sit on a rooftop and watch them descend on the town. And then she's like, oh, well, at night, the villagers go and lay in their beds and they escape the monsters. So what she does is first she would go in there and open their doors and then get back up on the roof. And then she realized the villagers, I think, would get up and close their own doors to like make sure that monsters can't get in their room. And then they'll lay back down. And so then she would go through the village and just take all the beds and then wait up there for nighttime and just watch as these villagers would run around like crazy as the zombies would come in and just take them out. And then she would be like, Dad, some of my villagers are zombies now. And I'm like, what the hell? And then she would be upset because all the villagers were dead. And she's like, they're not here anymore. Where'd they go? I'm like, you took their bed. You took their life. They're home. You came in and fucking ruined it. And so she would leave and make a new world. She went search for a new village.
Oh.
She has made well over 50 Minecraft worlds. And I think she thinks that the title of the world indicates what's going on in it because she'll just name it like Zombie World and then go in there and she'll be like, there's got to be more zombies in this one because I named it Zombie World. I'm like, I don't think it works like that.
Could explain seeds to her now.
Yeah. And so she goes in there and she's done that to that exact same playbook where she just goes in, finds a village, gets it destroyed, drops the world, goes to a different one. She's killed off. Well, I mean, she's made over 50 worlds. She's killed off over 50 villages worth of people.
It's one of the most disturbing things I've ever heard.
Passively. But then yesterday, we're sitting there. She's playing Minecraft. I'm working in here. I'm editing. And she goes, she's like, you know what, Dad? I made a house. And I'm like, you actually made a house? She's like, I made a house. I'm building it right now. And I'm sitting there looking like over my monitor. And I'm like, oh my God, she's building a house. This is awesome. And I'm like, hey, we're about to go upstairs, have some dinner. Tomorrow, I'll show you how to make a door. And she's like, Dad, I've already made a door. I'm like, dude, you need my help to make a wooden sword. There's no way you've made a door.
Yeah.
And she's like, look, I got it right here. I'm like, where the hell did you get a door? She's like, I made it. I'm like, okay. And I'm sitting there working.
Show me the village you took her.
And then she's like, Dad, she made like her house, but couldn't get like on. She has a hard time navigating around.
Yeah.
And so she's like, Dad, I need you to help me make a roof. And I'm like, okay. And so I get over there to climb up on our roof and like put together a roof. And I look over and there's a villager laying in a bed, and it looks like his house has been completely stripped around him. He's laying in a bed staring up at the sky, and it looks like someone drove a fucking bulldozer through his house. Half of his roof's gone. The whole side of his house is gone. She took that shit and just turned around and made her house out of his house, and he was just laying there. And then she just stood inside of her house, waited for the sun to set, and then zombies came in and took him off of his bed. And
She has the empathy of her father. Oh my God.
no. She's born with the empathy of her father. It's a learned process. You learn about empathy. Yeah.
You learn about stealing.
Yeah.
Learn about thievery.
Yeah. Well, she
Strong survive.
yeah, she'll survive. Yeah, all you need to do is
Gonna-
dismantle your neighbor's house to create your own, and that's how you survive.
You're going to start finding like PC parts out of yours taken. Okay. She's going to be upgrading.
Yeah.
She's going to learn the wrong lessons.
Yeah.
That is cool. I mean,
I love
it's exciting to have like a kid that's into video games like that.
well, she's like a
Like how many kids also get a PC as like their first console? Like
that's true. Yeah. Well,
I'm
none of
gonna
like
help her
the
with like computer skills.
none of the 2D stuff like interested her at all. I have a what are those things called? Not a PSP, but I forget what the fuck is that?
Steam
A
Deck.
Nintendo Switch. And none of that.
Got a Steam Deck too. That was an awesome gift, right?
The Steam Deck, yeah. Well, the problem with the Steam
love
Deck
that.
is I'm afraid she'll drop it.
Yeah.
I'm so afraid she'll drop it. But yeah,
She doesn't like the Switch at all.
No, she doesn't. No.
That's what I started my little sister on. I don't know. I thought it was just like little girl. You'll like Animal Crossing. I don't think she played very much.
Yeah.
Didn't play much other things. And now when I built my new PC a couple years ago, I just gave her my old one because I want to shape her into being. Both my little siblings were getting like too cool, and they were like too good at things.
Yeah.
They were like doing really well in school and like
Ooh.
learning instruments and stuff.
You
So I
gotta,
was
you gotta
like,
stomp that down.
yeah, like I don't want you to outshine me.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna get you onto the computer grind. Maybe I'll get you hooked on League of Legends. If I can get you on Rust or something
Yeah.
that's just gonna really take away from doing homework and studying.
And if you don't, if
Now
those
she-
don't catch your eye, then I'm gonna have to do like an acid attack or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Disfigure you somehow.
dog you up.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do because I also can't have you guys being more classically handsome or something's got to give. You can't be better at sports than me, smarter, more talented. It's just not fair. And God, I resaw that picture, that famous picture I showed you before. I got it in like my memories of my older brother taking that picture with my mom where he looks like a fucking model.
Yeah.
And then my picture next. I just can't have it happening again.
Yeah.
Also, what's going on? Like, I looked at those, and I looked at a picture of like my older brother and my parents, who my dad's not even his dad, but like they all have like the jaw lines of like Brooke Shields.
Yeah.
It's like it's just not fair. I don't know. There's something in genetics that gets lost with the middle child or something. Like
Me and my
the
brother
forgotten
were
age.
looking at a photo of my grandfather and my aunt's father outside of the family, like she's married in, and they're both just like leaned up on these like porch columns in probably the early 90s, and you can tell these dudes just slang dick for like on the side so much. These guys were just like, they just had swagger. And I was like, if I leaned up on a porch post with a fucking just a tucked in dress shirt, like I would just look like a dork on his way to school. These guys look fucking cool. He had his aviators tucked into his shirt pocket. He had fucking blue slacks on, white dress shirt,
It's not bad.
thumb in his
not fair.
pocket. Yeah, it's like,
My grandpa's like 6'4". Him and my dad have a jaw that cut glass
Yeah.
when they were my age. I've got the jawline of Stuart Little. It's like, what's going on? Who's shrinking us? My grandma? When were we mongrelized?
I don't know. It
basically?
has to be the fluoride.
Whose fault is
It
it?
has to be the fluoride or
It
something.
could be the fluoride. It could be the vegetarian diet my mom put me on for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could have been the cosmic brownies my dad was giving me. I don't know. Something. The red dye. Whatever. I'll start drinking that fucking pool cleaner if I have to. If I can fix it. I'm just hoping, I'm fixing some things. My girlfriend's very tall. I'm just trying to give my kids a better chance.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to play a sport that isn't golf, or tennis. I want them maybe I don't really want a kid to play football. 'cause
No, I wouldn't either.
My little brother's gotten really into football, and I'm like, don't get too into it.
There
It's okay
gets
for a
an
while,
age where it's like all of a sudden you're probably going to have long-term problems
don't want you to-
because of it. Have you seen retired NFL players? Their knees look like stork knees or something. They're all swollen up and gross.
Well,
You can
and
barely
it's
move.
like if you're not good enough to get, if you can get into the NFL, that's one thing. Okay, you
Yeah.
can make your brother some money. But now if you don't get in the NFL and you get in like the military pipeline or something, like
If you're shooting
I'm gonna be
for a
having to give you
scholarship,
money.
don't go for the big sports. I had some friends in high school that were like
Bowling.
shot put. Yeah, bowling.
Yeah.
You get scholarships. You don't even have to
I
be
knew a guy
that
on a
good at
bowling
it,
team.
and
Yeah.
you can get a scholarship because there's nobody that plays those. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a scholarship for javelin throwing. It's like there's like 4 people in the U.S. that throw javelins, dude. I feel like if I went back in
Not
time,
hyperbole.
I could probably get a javelin sponsorship or not sponsorship, scholarship. You just pick it up and do it for long enough.
I've said this. When I was at my tiniest, I did shot put and discus just to get out of running practice, and it's like I had a humiliation kink or something, because not only did I not train for running, so every race I just got absolutely destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
But then occasionally, I feel like almost as punishment, my coach would be like, "Oh, you think you like discus, huh? Like, go out there, compete in it." And I could throw it maybe 10 feet.
Yeah.
And the next guy's throwing a fucking football field.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know what I don't think I in my life was built to get a scholarship for any sport. I don't know what it would have been. Maybe pool or something. I don't even know if you can get a scholarship for like if it's
you
too
mentioned
niche.
bowling. That sounds right up my alley. You spend half
You
your
shoulda done-
you get the little you can get name another sport where you can go like give me a beer and some nachos and then bring it to your fucking lane.
And I'm going to be doing this till I'm 50.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be competing at a high level. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
And you get to have
there's-
like at most maybe if you play like hockey as a goalie you can get like a custom mask or something like that. Bowling you can get your own custom ball with whatever you want
And
in
carrying kit. There was a guy I knew that was on the bowling team, and I don't know if he got a scholarship. I feel like he did get a scholarship or something. I don't know. I didn't even think we had a bowling team. I guess we did. And he had like a custom carrying case in his own ball, and I'm like, that's pretty cool.
that's
He
cool.
probably even had one of those rags that you like
Oh yeah.
shine with, which is just like, at the time I remember being like, this is pretty lame.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking,
Pretty cool.
well, he probably doesn't have as much student debt as I do.
Yeah.
And he got to go bowling all the time,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
I
Like, bowling's fun.
I fucking
I
love
could-
bowling, dude. I bowl all day. When me and
When's the last time you went bowling?
me and
I
Abby
bowl
used
all
to
day.
go bowling as like date nights, you know. But
I could see you and Abby tearing up a roller rink too.
I go
doing, like, backwards,
Abby's like, no, Abby on roller skates. She's like, ah. I actually can roller skate pretty good. So
Yeah.
whenever we go to Skate World for the kids, like they fucked up. They added like a huge playground to Skate World in town. And so the kids now they
Keep it
walk in
skating.
and they look at the rink and they go, "That's lame. I want to play on the big playground." And so
You want to roll in circles, or do you want to go to the jungle gym? Yeah.
And so I sit there and skate while Madeline's running around the little playground. And yeah, I haul ass on that skate rink. I love it.
You
yeah.
should join one of those. I see like occasionally just online like videos of like 10 old dudes like doing perfect circles in unison, and like they've got like disco music going.
Synchronize. Oh, with
And
the
they
four
look
skates.
so serious.
The ones
yeah,
with the-
they're
yeah.
like they're doing like their legs are crossing in between and stuff. And I'm like, those guys used to fucking own this place. Like they used to get laid because of that.
Yeah.
And now they're just like, I'm so goddamn good at roller skating. What else am I gonna do?
What else is there? Time has passed me by.
This is a dying. I don't even know if you call it a hobby.
Yeah.
This is a dying hobby. There's not many. How many people are going to the arcade at the roller rink and jamming out? It's sad.
Yeah, there's not many. I think it's called Skate World, but it's really Jungle Gym World now. I don't even think they even rent out that many roller skates anymore.
They don't even clean the floors anymore on
No,
the rink.
they
They
don't
don't
give a
even grease
shit.
it.
Yeah. They don't care.
They even make new roller skates. They're still just using the same ones from like the 80s.
They just refurb them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Put some new hardware on that.
have no idea. Yeah.
Are you looking for a complete reoptimization of your nutrition this year? Well, Factor into your meal equation. They have chef-made gourmet meals that make eating, well, easy. They're dietitian approved. Heat 'em, eat 'em in 2 minutes. And they're great for an active lifestyle, busybodies and such. Because they've got quick things too, like smoothies, grab and go, breakfast, and add-ons to those, and just a lot of options. 40 to be exact, across 8 dietary preferences. That's things like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, etc. I have a Factor meal in my belly currently, and I feel incredible. And I ate the chicken Protein Plus meal, and like I said, it's just going swimmingly. So if you want to be like, if you want that, eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use code factorpodcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code factorpodcast at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
Natural transition. Hold on, let me find.
And segue.
Yeah, and segue. Weird kid at TwitchCon.
Segue, that's kind of like roller skating.
I already talked about that.
Creator Clash.
I already talked about that.
Yeah, guys, in case you're wondering, we're gonna be on the floor at Creator Clash again, just kind of balling out. So if you see us up from the,
I am gonna do my darndest to get the VIP, dude, so I can
please
pee.
I know it's gonna be really hard for you to get one for yourself, but if you can make it some sort of forehead Fables thing where you can say me and my co-host, or I don't know, man, just get me one of those passes and I'll be in your debt. I'll buy your ticket.
I'll figure it out. I have the inside scoop now that I'm Gamer
I'll
Subs.
go piss with Devin and Omid.
Gamer Subs guy.
Yeah, you better put some work in for TwitchCon.
I know I need to. Yeah, dude, last year I did fine, dude. I found that website that's you just go down and get you sign up for everything basically.
Yeah, but I send you I've gotten you into a lot of events by just begging Alex. So now it's your turn.
Now that I've
now it's on you.
Relationship
it's not fun.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to be IGL one year.
Yeah. IGL requires me telling other people what to do, and I don't really like doing that.
I like IGLing those events. I don't like the disrespect I get sometimes when something goes wrong.
I also feel like
I'm just trying my best.
I also feel like there's some of the people in our group, I feel like if I would say something IGL-ish to them, they would just be like, fuck off. Yeah. I feel like if I tried to boss Devin around, he'd be like, fuck you, old man. And then,
Devin is maybe the most go with the flow guy. Nah. You could tell Devin, hey, go walk into that fucking pool.
Nah.
Just kidding.
I feel like if I told him to do something, he'd slap the beer out of my hand.
You can't tell drunk Omid to do anything. You have to use reverse psychology like he's a toddler. You have to be like, I think we should go into Ebor at 4 a.m. I think that's a great idea. And they'll go, no, Dad, I don't want to.
I want to go back to the Airbnb and sleep.
Yeah, but if you say, Omid, you shouldn't walk home from Ebor District because all the locals are telling you it's a bad idea, he'll go, I'm going to fucking walk.
I saw a great video of how to deal with a dementia patient. And it's basically how to deal with Omid. It was an old lady going I'm going to Tennessee. And she's just walking out the front door, and her daughter's following her with her phone, recording it. And she's like, "Where are you going?" She's like, "I'm going to Tennessee." And she's like, "Are you going to drive there?" She's like, "No, I'm just going to walk." She's like, "That's 1,000 miles from here, don't you?" Because they're in Nebraska or something. And she's like, "I'll get there when I get there." And she's like, "Hey, I'd love to come with you. Can we go back inside really quick so I can pack a bag before we go?" And her mom's like, "Okay, yeah, that's great. We'll go inside and then we'll go." And then she's like, by the time we're inside, she'll forget about it. Yeah. But
that is smart. Yeah, I'll tell him.
It's non-confrontational. Yeah. We're going to go to Ebor in just a second, dude. Yeah. Just need to go back inside.
Here, man, why don't we just sit down real quick? I got to charge my phone 10% in the Airbnb. Why don't you lay down on the couch while I charge this? Here's a little lollipop.
I feel like he would struggle through it a little bit
Respond.
more than drunk
dementia
weed is less agreeable
Worse
than a
than a
dementia
dementia.
patient having a snap.
God, the scariest dementia patient videos is when it's like an old man that's like, "This nurse is my wife."
Yeah.
Like, why don't you give me a kiss? Like, how do you even?
Yeah. And
Those
and the
videos,
dudes
I'm like,
that get
these people
early
don't get paid enough.
early onset dementia where they're not even that old, so they're still like a danger. It's like a 55-year-old
Like,
man.
physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "Come here, Toots." Come here.
You're my wife who bangs me all the time.
No, I'm not.
No. Why don't we go? Why don't I pack my bags real quick and
We'll go on that
I know.
honeymoon or whatever. You take this pill.
I'm really hoping I don't get dementia.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping I don't get. I'm hoping I just kind of skirt by with nothing crazy like that and just die one day.
The dying one
It's
day
everyone's goal.
is that's the ticket. My grandma's now gotten to the point where she's just
Not dying.
yeah, like not dying. I think she kind of has like a, oh shit, I'm not dying, and I've outlived my body in every conceivable way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Grandma, like, I mean, you don't have dementia or anything?" She's like, "Yeah, I kind of wish I did." She's like, "I'm still fully up here, and this shit sucks.
man.
I'm fully aware of how bad my situation is." Yeah.
I'm continent. I can still pee and poop when I want to,
Yeah.
but the rest of me,
Yeah.
you know, suicide's not out of the option. You know,
Although
I
they
think
don't
when
let
you get that old, like people never like really kill themselves.
No, they don't, because they're like, "I've already hacked it this long. Like, I might as well
Yeah.
just go out."
Yeah, I
with the
think
flow."
at that point you're like, just in case it does send you to hell.
Yeah.
You be real careful.
Yeah. And the only ways that they let you kill yourself that are like state sanctioned or whatever, like it's always like the lamest way where you like
Yeah, it's
you
not-
take like a helium bag or something like that, or you take like some concoction of pills or whatever.
Am I crazy or like, you know, when the places where they like do euthanasia and stuff, like, I know it's more medieval, but like, what about just like one of those big metal pistons just in your head or something?
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes they're like, you know, there's a chance, or like in prisons, they're like, there's a chance it fails the shot or
Dude, don't even get
whatever,
me
or
started.
like electric.
I've
Like, wouldn't just a shotgun to the back of the head almost be better?
We are at an insane crossroads. I've had like a very long discussion with someone about this where I'm like, they keep coming up with these weird ways of like the lethal injection isn't just like a huge dose of fent. It's like, we have 5 different concoctions that go into you. This one does your nervous system, and then this one attacks your fucking organs, and then this one shuts down your respiratory system, and it all has to work together like one big ball dance, or else you don't die and you start shaking on the table and vomiting up blood. Or the electric chair where, you know, they start like smoking like bacon and dancing. Yeah. And I'm like, why can't you just drop like a really big rock on somebody? Like, why?
Yeah, like, you know, it's gonna kill
Yeah.
them. Or like 4 horses pull their head and arms and like stop. Like something where, well, obviously you'd want to not be scared before you die. I think just
Okay,
say,
guillotine,
like-
and they're looking down at like a magazine that's like full of.
the guillotine failed sometimes.
It did
I'm
not.
thinking,
It did not. There's never a failure of the guillotine. Never.
well, the guillotine there was.
Guillotine,
maybe not
sorry.
the guillotine.
The guillotine, I don't
I'm
think it's
thinking,
ever
okay,
failed.
here's my proposal. What do you want for your final meal? As soon as you like finish the meal and you're like, "Oh, I'm stuffed," there's just a shotgun behind your head you don't know's there. Like, it just comes like a painting. Like one of those, once again, it could be
Wild
one of those
West.
Wild West guys. The guy's just standing there in a painting, and then he just puts it to the back of your head, and you're like, "So, when's the electric chair?" Boom.
Okay, so
Night,
the
night.
reason why they don't do that is they say cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it,
I mean, I wouldn't want that to happen to my family member, but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know,
Well, what if like
me.
the ceiling just comes down like a big fucking piston and just squishes
the
them?
whole
Yeah,
thing.
the whole ceiling. You're in there.
And then they just scrape them into a paste
Yep.
and then feed it to the other
There's a little
prisoners.
gutter in the corner, and they just they push broom you into the gutter,
Power wash it.
just
yeah.
like Tiananmen Square. They just push them down into the.
Why are there drains all over this floor? Piston comes down, fucking hydraulic press.
I've thought about
Now,
that
if
too.
it
Like,
malfunctioned, it slowly came down. That'd be really scary.
yeah, that'd be horrifying. But Have you ever seen like those quarry videos where you'll see that they'll cut down like big slabs of marble, and the marble slab is so big compared to the excavator that it's just like you could make like 1,000 countertops with that much marble.
You're saying just put 50 old people in death row inmates?
Just put them, just lay them down and just give them like enough fent to just knock them out. They're not freaking out or anything. They're chilling.
You can go give them some fucking what's that called? That shit they put on rags.
Chloroform.
No, well, yeah, kind of, but
milk of the poppy.
No, the stuff people use, ether. Just give them some ether. Give them a bunch of ether and say, look at the ground.
Look at that huge slab of marble that's about to squish you.
Look up there. Look up there. Okay. Yeah, laughing at. I mean, anything. I just feel like there's cheaper methods.
Oh, there's for sure cheaper methods because the Soviets were like, "Oh, you're guilty." They just take you out behind the courthouse and shoot you in the top of the head with a little bullet. That's all it costs.
I do think like to keep the humaneness, you need to not have a fear factor.
Yeah.
It needs to be unexpected.
They just need to linny you. Just talk to you for a little bit and be like, what do you like? Oh, and then while you're talking about it,
be like, hey, oh my God, there's a new law that just got passed. You're free. You're a free man. And then
what are you going to do? Yeah. Talk to me for a moment. I'm a guy.
Tell me your plans.
Yeah. You've actually been wrongfully imprisoned and I'm a representative from the state and I'm here to give you $10 million. I just need you to tell me how you're going to spend it. And by the way, there's a supermodel that's waiting to blow you in the parking lot.
The other side of the glass.
Yeah, as soon as you get out, she's going to blow you. And just tell us what you're going to do as soon as you get out with this money. And then while they're talking about it, they don't see the train tracks that go through their prison cell, but a big train comes through and goes, runs them over.
I think I hear your train out of town. First
class.
Here
comes your ride. Yeah, and it's a bullet train. It just comes through and hits them.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Bullet train.
The fact that they tell them
or bullet
before they're getting executed.
Yeah. We're going to shock you to death. Yeah. We're going to electrocute you to death.
But it's going to be painless. That's insane.
Yeah. But it's humane.
Yeah.
Ever seen Green Mile? Yeah. No,
I think my fight or flight would go up even more if like I just got convicted for like
strapped down.
Yeah. I killed 7 kids and you're going to let me go? Something's up.
Yeah.
Just like that. Okay. Okay, dude. Yeah, I would be looking for this. The ceiling's about to close in on me, isn't it?
I'll be feeling the ceiling. It's gone down a little. I think it's going down a little. And then the floor shoots up and smashes you. The floor and all the walls turns you into a cube.
Yeah.
And then you could bury people 50 per grave slot. Because graveyards are taking up too much room. That could be golf courses. They need to be making the people into little tiny cubes that are this big. And then you could feed it to dogs or just put it in the ground. You go deeper, not as wide.
Oh, yeah.
15 meat cubes on top of each other.
Well, yeah, you could dig your grave would just be like this wide and then really deep, and you just slide them down.
Yeah.
And then their squished their hair would be sticking out where the grass is.
The hair keeps growing. Yeah. Big furry mound on top. Hair and fingernails coming out of the ground everywhere, all over the world. Oh, back in my day, you wouldn't believe how uncivilized it was. Everyone had a
giant
little
box. Yeah, right. Yeah. When you died, they made a giant box and put you in there. And
if it flooded, they'd float up. But now we just have these nice little furry mounds that you can lay on and tell them you're. I don't know. Yeah. I think ashes too. Ash is a good way. Just a broom that catches on fire.
Yeah. My only problem with that is that Neil deGrasse Tyson guy. I think he was talking about cremating, and he's like, honestly, like all the energy used to like burn you, all that stuff just goes out into the environment, and it's kind of gross. Like, I think it would be much cooler if everything that you eat is from the earth. Your body should go back into the earth.
Getting buried, not in a coffin.
Yeah. I've talked about it before, that mushroom pod where it's like just a mycelium pod that they put you into. And then when you get buried, it just kind of like absorbs you.
Now, see, if we can make enough
cool.
podcast money, I'm getting frozen.
Oh,
just
that's.
in case.
Did you hear about the like one of the first cryogenic freezer places had an outage, and some of the earliest people that were cryogenically frozen, they got like turned into soup.
They turned into like soup.
Yeah, they turned into soup and then refroze, and so they're just like, "There's no bringing this guy back."
Oh, you could get my soup DNA and put me in a better body or something.
I don't think cryogenically freezing is ever going to work because, as something, I mean, you've had. Have you ever had like a frozen, like I don't know, like a frozen blueberry or something like that, frozen strawberry? Like all the moisture that's inside, as it freezes, it expands and it just completely ruins the tissue. The texture is never the same.
But are some of them hoping that they're? I mean, I guess they're probably hoping their body gets, just like unfrozen and they're like, ugh. But I would think it'd be more for like maybe very far in the future, they could just clone you. But then it also, the question like, why?
Yeah.
They'd maybe do that to like one or two guys if they got that technology to learn some history, but it wouldn't be like random podcaster.
What do you mean
They wouldn't be
clone
like,
you? Like if you clone someone, they're just going to be like your copy raised in that world.
Yeah,
they're not going to
not
have, they're not going to have your noodle.
Yeah, that's okay. I just think the world needs me.
Oh, yeah.
So just a version of me out there.
I think there's much more useful people that they could clone other than us.
Well, we don't know that.
I think
we don't know what we haven't even.
I think this
begun to peak
world
yet.
could lose 25 million of me and nobody would fucking bat an eye. I think they would definitely benefit by, first of all,
I think it'd be a long day on the roads without listening to this podcast. A lot of truckers, which are kind of the
infrastructure, the backbone of this nation would fall apart if you don't have more of us.
Builders, the truckers, the people that drive those little things around
forklifts,
warehouses, forklifts,
forklift operators,
all those guys. Yeah. They would. What would they just like give up?
Or they just do what they were doing before podcasts, just their job.
Beating their wife when they get home, like what do they? Yeah, they need us.
Without us,
we need
truck
to
drivers are
hammer
going
that
to
in.
go back to just taking speed, which is not good for your heart. Okay.
Yeah.
Taking a bunch of they do that and they do meth, I think, to stay up.
I've been seeing a guy on TikTok that interviews truck drivers. Okay, dude, don't clip that. Don't pause that.
Yeah.
But he like. Kind of ironically is interviewing truck drivers, but I think it'd be great for us to get some of them on where they'll interview like the old generation of truck driver versus the new one.
I've seen that guy where he's like, yeah, I've done a 36-hour drive.
Yeah. If you can't do 20 hours on the road, you don't belong on the highway.
Yeah.
They're like, your hands are soft. Look at my hands.
Is this the guy too that like half of his body is just wrinkled because that's the side facing the window, and then
no, you've told me about that guy before, but no, which is awesome.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Awesome.
It's like, what do you think I did for a living? Half my face is droopy and wrinkled. The other half of me looks young.
I wouldn't guess truck driver.
Yeah,
I'd say like I don't know, guinea pig,
guy that got stuck halfway into a time machine or something. Yeah. Have you seen that movie, The Time Machine, with Guy Pearce? Where like at the end they're like spiraling through time, and he pushes the bad guy out of the time machine, and you see him like turn into a skeleton as he's falling because it's like, time is passing. Yeah. Very cool. But basically but instead of a time machine, it's his it's his arm and half of his face hanging out the fucking truck window, aging.
It's like Two-Face, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think eventually we should either do Truck Simulator podcast or getting real semis, or just go to a lot.
Just be lot lizards.
Just like, no, just like wear those glasses that record things and just interview a truck driver and be like,
if we did a podcast at a Flying J parking lot with some lawn chairs,
people would come up.
I think somebody would come fuck with us pretty easy. Yeah.
I think someone would also, those places, they'd be like, you do not have permission to film me.
Yeah.
And they pull out their fucking, I don't know, what kind of weapons do truckers have, like nunchucks or something.
They have sawed-off shotguns, double barrel side-by-sides. Yeah. Yeah, hanging up on their gun rack above where the little visor is. They pull down the visor, and instead of keys falling down, it's just that.
Double barrel. Oh, shit. How much are you? You probably don't have the answer to this. I'd assume not much, but like, how much are you allowed to customize if you work for a company where they give you a semi?
None. It's their car. But whenever I see those guys that have like the badass pipes that go up there,
Yeah, like flame.
Yeah.
Like Optimus Prime flames.
You know they got their own truck. Those guys are
like
badass.
can you put bull horns on it? Like what can you know?
What I think the sad part
I think
is
a
that
skeleton with chains on the front, like chained to the front, like
what can
that
you
would be
have
really
on
cool.
them?
Yeah, truck nuts.
It's so funny too, like the difference, the contrast between European truckers and American truckers. If you like the European trucks, like those big ass, like I don't know, Mercedes freight trucks, state of the art. They have great sleeper cabins, but they're so bland and like they just look like they look state of the art. They look comfy. They look like they ride
Uniform.
nice. But then you come to the U.S. and we got like Bikini Babe mud flaps, flames, big straight pipes, badass shit, big suicide knob on the steering wheel, and like all those European guys are probably like, what the Tulsa? She's still Tulsa.
Wanker.
Yeah.
A truck isn't an expression.
Yeah, they're really subdued over there.
Well, I think you have to make the truck feel like home, or you go crazy. If you're in a truck for 20 hours and it's got nothing from view,
nothing says home like big flames and skulls and
you gotta have pride in your truck.
Mud flaps, badass shit.
Your hands have got to be rough, and you gotta have pride in your truck. You gotta have chains and dice.
Hey, those European truck drivers, they don't even drive 20-hour shifts. I bet you they probably don't even do meth over there. I bet you they just do 8 hours on the road.
Yeah.
Take a little nap.
10 kilometers.
Yeah. They probably actually do their logbook, accurately. Pussies.
We're going to find out a massive misstep on our part that 90% of the truckers in our audience are actually European truckers. We just didn't know.
Nobody shits on my Mercedes 18-wheeler. No.
We drive on the left here.
We drive on the left.
I would like to see two semi-drivers crash into each other head first.
Oh, yeah. That's how death row inmates should be killed.
Two of them chained up on the... Flames shooting out of the car.
Mad Max style, yeah.
Spitting gasoline into the engine.
That's dude, that is the difference
faster,
between
you're more likely to
European
die.
and American truck drivers. Is American ones are like Mad Max.
Max.
Yeah. We have a little gremlin on the hood that spits fucking gasoline into our air intake. That's awesome.
How many times do we bring up Mad Max when we talk about truckers? Maybe at least twice a month, and we do 3 episodes.
It
leans into
it's escapism,
well.
dude, because the job probably actually is very boring. I make Abby drive me around. I'm sorry, guys, like truckers that are watching this. I'm sorry.
I sold your car.
Yeah, I sold my car. I'm carless right now. I still haven't
You're
gotten
the
mine.
furthest thing from a fucking trucker right now.
I refuse to drive. I have Abby drive me everywhere. Actually, I refuse to drive
after 2
and
hours.
then she wants me to drive, but when I drive, I just daydream because it's so boring, and so I just miss every turn. Like I'm present enough.
Imagining a Spider-Man by me on the road, swinging on the power lines.
Yeah, and I'm present enough that I'm not going to crash, but I'm not like navigating in my brain or anything, which is so weird because I've been playing so much Arma Reforger, and I'm like, if we cut through here and hug this tree line in this UAZ, oh, there's a stump right here. I know there's a stump coming up. We got to circle around this. Like, I know that map now pretty good, way better than my own town. And then in town, I'm just like, where the fuck am I? I don't know where I am.
Abby, where are we? Drive faster.
Dude, back when like Garmin's were a thing before like Google Maps was on your phone, me and Abby were we were someplace and I was supposed to follow her home. And we got separated because she drives like crazy.
She drove through a yellow.
Yep. And I came home an hour later. I remember her just like meeting me in the driveway, and I just get out of the car eating an Almond Joy. And I'm sitting there munching on an Almond Joy. She's like, "Where the fuck did you get that? Where were you?" I was like, "Dude, I got lost. I ended up in Frenchtown, which is like a horrific ghetto here in town." And I parked in Frenchtown. I went into a convenience store, got an Almond Joy, And I was like,
I
was like, how do I get out?
it.
How do I? Because there's a lot of like one-way streets. I was like, how do I get out of here? And they were like, you get in your car and get out of here. You go that way.
Where? Tugged on his shirt. Where's Abby? Where do I live? Can you help me get home?
How do I get home?
I'm scared. Can you ask for her on the walkie-talkie? And then all the truckers in town work together. We got a lost boy.
Actually, from me, my family here, from I can't say our last name, our great clan. We're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna thank all the truckers out there because my aunt has a very beautiful story where
my aunt was
she was driving in
a voluptuous lot lizard.
Yeah, she was the prize lot lizard in Toledo, Ohio, and
they treated her well.
No, she was driving in Toledo, and the highway was all icy, and she was having a hard time. Like she was like sliding around on it because like the wind was it was like blowing her car to and fro, and she had a CB radio in her little car for some reason. And she's like asking, like,
I heard truckers, mayday.
Yeah. She's like, my car cannot stay on the road. This is so dangerous. Like, how much further up the road is the ice? Like, is it iced all the way? Because she's trying to get from some place to some other place. And all these truckers were like, lady voice, immediately. Or
I'll help you.
Basically, they came simping for my aunt where they're like, we'll get you, my lady. They boxed her car in. And so the wind wasn't blowing her car. It was a 3-lane road. She was in the middle. She had semis on either side of her, and then one in the front.
Well, like it's like my nightmare. Surrounded by semis.
She acted like it was so nice. I was like, I feel like you're just like in a lion's mouth. Like, one little ice slide, and you're all of a sudden like underneath a bunch of tires.
You're in that piston room.
She acted like it was so nice that these guys like blocked the wind for her and like made sure she didn't slide everywhere.
I know everyone on the highway behind them was like, holy fuck, there's no way around.
Yeah,
that is pretty
it's
cool.
It's pretty cool though. Yeah,
like,
she organized it with CB radio. And
did she reward them?
I didn't ask that part. She's kind of a wild lady, dude. She's cool. But
the image of just truckers coming to the rescues. It's really noble.
It is.
It's really awesome.
Yeah.
Making a caravan to get this woman town over.
Yeah.
And just, the idea of that is literally like the scariest place to be on the road. It's completely surrounded by semis on an icy road.
Yeah.
But
it reminds me of Smokey and the Bandit. Just like everybody calling ahead with CB radios. Like,
it wouldn't be a bad idea to have one. Now that I know,
yeah.
I go, hello, I need help.
Well,
I wouldn't sound like do a woman's voice.
I think CB radios are a little bit more business oriented than we're imagining.
What kind of radio do I need to talk to a trucker and not have them pissed off at me?
Well, for Christmas, my kids got some Paw Patrol walkie-talkies, and one day none of them were home, and all of a sudden I hear they left the walkie-talkie on. I hear the walkie-talkie start talking. And I pick it up and I'm just like, hello?
It's me, your secret friend.
Because I thought Madeline had hers. She was walking somewhere with Abby around the block or something. I was like, hello? And then it was very obviously like business communication. There was like, hello, over now. Is this like whatever? Like they had different crews, I guess, that were working.
Is Madeline?
I was like, hello? And they were like, who is that? Who is that? I was like, oh shit, am I in like the wrong frequency? Why the hell is this Paw Patrol radio like on a business frequency?
The great thing is, though, they won't know who you are at all. You could say anything.
I don't think they could track me down. I don't even know if the little mic is good enough on the Paw Patrol walkie-talkie for them to understand me. Because it just sounds like gibberish half the time.
This is Paw Patrol number 1. It's an emergency.
I remember when my mom dated a rich guy and he'd take us skiing. We all had walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
And you had to like constantly change lines because it'd be like, oh, new family hopped on our line. Gotta go to a different channel over here. And I found it maybe this is because of my voyeurism tendencies or something, but I found it interesting that you could just go on a channel.
I'll meet you guys there. Yeah, I'll meet you guys at that other frequency. I'm going to hang out with this other family.
All of you meet me at the bar now. Yeah, it's kind of creepy too. Someone could just be like, "Hey, it's me, your mom's boyfriend. Meet me down the mountain." I'd be like, "Okay." Meet me in the woods by the moguls. Huh? Sure. Okay.
Yeah, don't take the ski lift. Go right on past that.
We're hiding in the little hermit's hut on the mountain. You're just gonna want to take your skis off and trek a little. Okay, follow the footsteps.
Yeah, follow the footsteps. You've dug a little one of those outdoor
blood,
boys like
that's deer
ice houses that he's made under the snow.
Meet me in the ice hut. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's me, your mom's boyfriend.
Yeah.
It is just interesting that you can listen.
Have you seen those?
You don't have to tell.
I've seen multiple videos. One went viral of a lady, like it was like a little kid with a very powerful CB radio talking to the people at the International Space Station. And they answered, they're like NASA 1, who is this? And she's like, I'm Deborah from Missouri. Hi Deborah. He's like, I just want to say hey. And they're like, okay, thanks. Like they're doing science shit up there. But since that went viral, like all these people are like, oh, we can mess with the people at the International Space Station. I have seen multiple clips of people going like, hey, are you there up there, NASA man? And they're like, what do you want? Like you can tell they're impatient. They're like, yeah, we're up here.
Keep the line clear.
Yeah. I'm kind of busy like floating and jerking off up here. What do you want?
We're doing video. We're doing TikTok videos where we see what floats. Yeah. Okay. The coolest.
Yeah, we're recreating Space Odyssey up here. What do you want? Or Space Oddity.
Hello, this is Hal. This is Halbot. No. I mean that's just cool.
It is cool. Yeah.
It's cool that they work like that.
Yeah.
Radio waves and stuff, sound. I don't really totally understand it all, but I think it's very
I don't either.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's cool that it works. I don't know how we got here. I know we got here from modern history.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know when we
Do you know that
steps,
guy Nate Bargatze, the stand-up comedian?
No, let me look him. I might know him like his look.
He has a couple like famous SNL episodes.
Oh, is he he's kind of like
he's got
like he doesn't emote a lot.
Yeah, he's got a very deadpan, very wholesome guy.
I think I know. I saw his bit. Yeah, where he's like, if I went back in time, I wouldn't even be able to.
I wouldn't be able to
anything.
prove to
It's
them
so
that
true.
I'm. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought about that a lot when I was a kid. Of like, do I need to be memorizing like who won Super Bowls and stuff?
Yeah.
Like that way I can do sports betting or like
It's not even that. It's
no
like
fucking
technology
idea.
stuff. Like
No, yeah, explaining any of
yeah.
it.
Even stuff like like the doors opening at when you walk into a store, they open before you show up. Like I don't even know how that works.
You'd want a PC pretty quick.
Yeah.
Okay, CPU.
I don't even know how to solder
make
something.
it from rocks originally.
Yeah.
Then you get like silicone or something. You like stamp it. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't even be able to explain like gunpowder.
Yeah. I would be pretty fucked. If I went back in time, I'd probably it'd be over for me pretty quick.
I wouldn't even try. Yeah, I would just try to find a simple life.
Actually, the first thing I would do is I would see what time is it and has the gold rush happened yet? And if it hasn't, I would be going to the gold rush places.
Being attacked by natives on the way.
Yeah.
I'll be the first one out there.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I'll make the trail.
Yeah.
That I would do that guy that's read one book about history. That one book I read about the guy that time travels, the first thing he does is go to a tailor in mock-up pants with pockets because everyone's wearing togas, and he's like, I really want pants.
Yeah, I need pants.
That's
bad.
He makes like kind of modern shoes and pants, and he's like, I got pockets. Like, yeah,
immediately
that's about
gets stabbed in the sternum and his pants stolen.
I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna kind of do this thing where I get like blue jeans and a white shirt.
Yeah.
The first guy to do this. I beat what's his name, Paul Newman or whoever did that. Oh no, it was a handsome guy from the past. I can't remember. I don't know. The first guy that wore jeans and a white shirt, and they were like,
whoa,
white shirts, those are for under.
Yeah.
And he's like,
hey man.
Yeah, but look how hot I look.
Dude, he could have worn anything and gotten away with it though. He's fucking Paul Newman.
It's crazy that yeah, historically, if you're hot and rich, like you could have shaped our world in much different ways. You could be like, hat with a big peacock feather. This is it.
Yeah.
This is what we do.
If you
And
go
I'd be
on like
wearing one right now.
the men's fashion subreddit, the only thing people are talking about is like Kendrick Lamar's bell bottoms. Where do we buy these? I need bell bottoms now. Pumas are back in. Fuck yeah, Pumas and bell bottoms.
I wanted his jacket pretty bad.
Nobody was talking about the jacket. Everybody was talking about those bell bottoms. Those need to come back
Which
now.
I immediately was like, do we like these? Do we like these pants? Or
Apparently they love them.
I accidentally bought a pair of pants like that at a thrift store because I didn't try them on. I'm like, oh, jeans my size.
Yeah.
And then I put them on. I'm like, what is happening here? Because the bottom was just huge. I've got those somewhere. Okay, I can hop on this trend today. They just looked really dumb when I wore them, so they weren't ready.
Well, that's my superpower. It doesn't matter what's in style. If I put it on, I can make it look real dumb instantly.
I can instantly ruin
that was
trend.
One guy there was one realist in the comments on that subreddit where he was like, Kendrick looks good in it because he's wearing it as the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, he could have come out with anything on, performed that song, everybody cheering, and it would have been cool. When you put them on, you're gonna look like just like a fat white guy with bell bottoms on. You're gonna look stupid. And
I wish he did suspenders and did like a little suspender trick, like RRR.
Yeah. What are those little fucking straw hats with the flat brim? Yeah. If he would have done one hat roll from one arm to another with a twirling cane
that for the next 10 years.
Yep.
Yeah. My grandma always talks. It's so funny seeing it now because it's like this big, but she has a little candy cane. That's like a wooden candy cane that's like this tall. And when I was a little kid, I thought it was so funny I'd grab it and do the little like da 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 and like a little hat and stuff. And now just imagining like she probably ate that shit up. Just like a little tiny boy being doing stuff from her youth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is cool. No, it's not.
There was some Jim Carrey movie where he like fights himself. Like he's like trying to like
Sonic 3.
He's like trying to like punch himself and he like grabs his own fist and he's like having.
Wait, is that the You, Me, and Dupree or something? Or?
And he's like having just like a full on fight by himself. Cable. It might have been the Cable guy. I don't know. But or the Mask maybe. I don't know. Anyways. After I was doing that for fun, like, like a self fight because my brother's 5 years older than me, so he would never like play with me a whole lot. And after my uncle saw that, he would be like, "Sam, do that thing where you fight yourself again." And he would sit there on the couch and be like, "Oh yeah," because I would do the full like falling back on the carpet, like go horizontal, like I just uppercutted myself. Yeah.
Choking yourself and grabbing your shirt.
And he would sit there and just be like, yeah. Just ate dinner. He's like, let's watch this shit. Let's watch this little 5-year-old kid beat the fuck out of himself.
Put this little jingling hat on.
Yeah.
I mean, it is cool to have a kid that's like, does entertaining little bits for you and stuff. I would love that.
Yeah.
You have to shape them young to be more entertaining for you. What I like.
Yeah. Well, I've realized what they think's funny is what you do to them and laugh. So like the one that Madeline does now is she'll go like, "Hey Dad, can you come here?" And she'll be like in her room. And I'll be like, "Okay." And then I'll like walk into the hallway into her room and she'll just be sitting there smiling at me. And she'll be like, "Do you smell that?" And what it is she'll fart in the hallway and then go beyond it and call me into it. Because I do that to her all the time. I'd be like, "Hey Madeline, come here for a second." I'll be like, "You're just walking like right through a big cloud of my fart. You can't see it right now. But do you smell that?" And she's like, "Dad, stop." And now she just does that to people.
I'd be so interested on how these kids turn out. Like what they're...
Yeah, they're going to be titans of industry. No, they're going to be...
Get Instagram and be like, okay, never mind. I'm just going to be a regular kid.
Yeah, they're going to be beaten into conformity, unfortunately, because they're going to public school.
Take them to the wilderness.
I got to homeschool
to Colorado quick.
I got to homeschool them. I got to give them exclusively modded Minecraft where you can't build anything and you just steal from other people. And
you get them podcasting today, they are going to be unstoppable one day.
Yeah.
Just show them like, what is it, like Call Me Daddy's like the most profitable. Like
I'm not making my 6-year-old daughter do a sex-based podcast.
But you just show them what works from it and say, okay, now make me some money.
You know,
or talk about like stuff like because there's not really a lot of podcasts for 5-year-olds to watch.
There's not a whole lot of smut for 5-year-old podcasts.
Well, it doesn't have to be smut. You know, they could be talking about like who would win a fight, you know, Paw Patrol, Dog, or Dora, you know.
Yeah.
It could be relevant to whatever kids like these days.
What can Dora do to kill Sniper? Because he keeps... Sniper keeps sniping. Or Swiper.
He's a swiper.
Swiper, no swiping. Yeah, that's what it is.
You think Dora could kill a sniper? Map, where's the sniper? Where's the sniper's nest?
Her little fucking friend has a red dot on his head.
Yeah.
No! Boots! Boots, no! Boots, all you see is just his boots left there, and then the legs have been blown off.
The whole top of his body's missed. Yeah, see if Madeline was doing a podcast where she's talking about this, like little kids would be like, yeah.
Yeah, we're old and washed up, dude. We need the youth perspective.
What do we think about Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
What are you feeling about Mr. Beast? How do we feel about Beast games? We've talked about this extensively, but getting our viewers, getting the patrons to procreate, bring in children. The problem is going to be like, they either need to start showing them our content very young, which is not appropriate, so that they become attached to us. Maybe even imprint on us. Maybe when they're born, you just show them a picture of us, and they're like, I want to give them money.
No, it's before then. When they're pregnant, you put the headphones on the belly, and instead of playing Mozart, you play the podcast.
So it's like a one-man band, but each thing's like a little analog sex item.
Yeah.
But the solution could be, maybe I pump out some kids. You've already got some on the way. Start making kid podcasts for when they have kids. Next generation. You own 100% of the stake. It's your company in your kids' podcast.
Okay, so
maybe
this is an awesome idea. This is a great idea, but I'm gonna swoop the legs out from under it. There's already like AI podcasts out there that are just flooding the market, where a guy just goes like, ChatGPT, generate 10 great podcast ideas with where it's like a debate between two people, and then it just runs each debate through two separate like voice models, language models, and then it just generates like 90 minutes of two AIs arguing with each other, and it makes them like every hour. And now they suck. They're horrible. Like, give it 10 years, and I bet you there's going to be one like major hit show that's going to just be completely auto-generated. The guy that
right, maybe we get in on that. Yeah, maybe we start start feeding it our models, but say clean it up a little bit, make it a little tighter, make the comedy a little more PG,
and
learn
and make it funny, and then it would.
Yeah. Brian Bot learn, absorb.
Yeah, yeah. That would actually be funny to just have a third AI added in there that its job is to just be the quiet one where he doesn't talk. You're not going to talk a lot.
Learn from it. Learn from 10,000 hours of footage. It's just going to say the N-word every once in a while. So I'm understood. Brian, you were great.
Yeah, and it's the way he says the N-word. It's so good. Like, it's practiced.
I love the idea of us just having I've said this a lot, like a claymation host or CGI host that
a third guy
maybe he doesn't really talk. Yeah, he doesn't talk that much, or he can't. Maybe we can put it in post where he says something. We could, because after every episode, well, maybe we don't ever do this, but I'm going to make this seem like a thing we do. We talk about the episode and we say, wow, it would have been really funny to say this there.
Yeah.
That's when in post, our CGI guy, like he's hitting only bangers.
The worst thing that ever happens to me sometimes is we'll have an episode, and then after we finish, we'll then stay on Discord and have a much funnier conversation.
Yeah,
And then-
before and after we hit record. Yeah, we hit
all
like
the time.
all of
Our best bits are not recorded. We'll sometimes hit. Sometimes you'll just call me in the middle of the week, and we'll just have like the funniest 30-minute conversation. Like, fuck, dude, I wish that was an episode.
We'll
Shit.
start subtly recording. We'll make those patron exclusives or something. Throw in a couple of phone call, 10 p.m. Hey, how's the wife and kids? And then somehow gold comes from it.
Spirals out of control.
That happened with the fucking Kingsley one afterwards, and before we were talking about the like fuck boy, like whipping boy thing. It's like, this is really funny. We should talk about this. Sorry, my cough is not gone yet.
Wait, explain
We'll
to the
talk
folks
about
at
it.
home what the fuckboy is. Fuckboy's good.
Well, see, it's just not as natural now. But we were talking about the whipping boy and like how much worse it would be just to have a guy, a fuck boy that comes in like bangs your girlfriend in front of you. But
Oh,
it can
you're
also
being a
just be
bad
like,
prince?
"Sup?"
Okay. You just call in the peasant boy that's like a blacksmith
fucking
apprentice.
ripped
He's
dude, yeah.
ripped. He looks like Gendry from Game of Thrones. Hey, what's
You wanna
up?
Fuck this chick.
Little prince pushes you on your ass, fucks your girl.
Yeah. Makes her moan.
Yeah.
It starts a big fight with you and your girlfriend after.
Yeah.
I think that'd be much more effective than whipping a peasant in front of you.
Yeah.
Putting you in the cuck chair. No, I'll behave.
Not the fuck boy. Don't call the fuck boy.
I'll do my homework or whatever. Yeah, there's about 1 million of those a month where we're just like, that would have been funnier.
Yeah.
That's when we bring in the CGI guy,
And
he's like,
he rounds
it
off
becomes
the
a
bits.
fan favorite.
Yeah.
Actually, what they should have said here was
There was an old show on YouTube that was kind of like just general nerd shit, like mostly like Battlestar Galactica or Game of Thrones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they would just do episodes on I forget the name. It was some lady with like the side of her head shaved and she had pink hair, but they had like a guest that
Vi from League of Legends.
basically she looked like Vi from League of Legends, and she had a like a little side host that was basically like Bender, like the bad Halloween costume where it's just a cardboard box with like the little like dryer vent arms. And
Yeah.
every once in a while the camera would cut to him, and I think that's what they did was they recorded the episode, and then in editing there would be like, it would be really funny to add this here, and they would cut to the side host.
Bender.
Yeah, Bender, and he would
It's
basically
genius. I mean,
he would throw out something.
yeah, but no one even remembers the name of that thing, so we can just take that idea and, it was our idea too. So we'll just,
Yeah.
There was a like British TV host that was really popular, like Craig or something.
Yeah,
I can't
Craig
remember his name.
Ferguson.
He
Yeah.
was always like weirdly risen up the hot chicks, he had that riz, but he had that co-host that was just like a skeleton.
Yeah,
That
with a
had a
mohawk.
guy
It was like
voicing
a
it.
robot mohawk skeleton or something.
Yeah, see that I didn't like the look of that thing. So if we could get a better looking thing than that,
Yeah.
maybe it can be British. I mean, it doesn't matter. Maybe we can get
If it was like the stop motion skeletons from Jason and the Argonauts, that would be
claymation that's just like
Yeah, very just disjointed.
like 10 frames.
Yeah. We'd have like we'd have at least half the budget of the show tied up into just stop motion for every
And
episode.
see, I don't get on stop. I wouldn't be able to take out and post the like little sticks that they use to prop them up, and so we could just have those.
Yeah.
It'd be like, and we'll see our fingers bending its head and stuff, and opening its mouth. But even just a Wallace,
I never thought about that. Do they just take those out and post? How do they?
Yeah, I mean, have you ever seen a video of?
Yeah,
like, how
I've
long
seen
it
like
takes to make
their
a-
hands, and they have little sticks and
across
everything. I didn't even think about that.
And they have to like interchange mouths and eyes all the time, and
Yeah.
they have to take that shit
I
out.
love the stop motion
use
of
green sticks.
Isle of Dogs. If you've seen that,
Oh yeah,
because like all the fur is constantly moving, and yeah, very cool. That movie had horrible
Cuba-
ratings too, and I love that movie. I thought it was great.
Have you ever seen Kubo and the Two Strings?
No.
It's another great. You should watch that with your kids at some point because it is like a kids movie. But you'd also get a kick out of like the stop motion's really good, and it's like it's just like a little kid that plays music, but it's like really like cool shit comes out of the instrument and stuff. And then Matthew McConaughey plays like a beetle samurai. And then there's just one of those like Asian hot tub monkeys, like one of the Arctic monkeys. And they both look really good. And also Matthew McConaughey is like a beetle that also is a samurai. It's really cool because it's got its like beetle rhino horns, but they look like samurai helmet.
Okay, yeah.
And he's got like 4 katanas. But the stop motion, I remember watching that in theater and being like, this is an absolute banger movie. I feel like nobody really talked about it.
That's how I
think
felt
it
about
won an
Isle
award or
of Dogs.
something.
Yeah. I don't think anybody talked about it.
Well, Cuba and 2 Strings, guys, check it out.
Yeah.
Also, guys, segue, buy and grind Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Should have played that before talking to Jason Kingsley. Oh my God. It's bringing back the magic of a Oblivion era RPG. Okay. The AI are stupid. They do funny things. The game is so tedious. And by, against all odds, it's actually very fun.
I think the tedium is
tedious
what
things.
kept me away. Because
Well, it's okay. I can't explain. The first one I only played 8 hours of, like 2 weeks ago. Did not get into it. Could not. I don't know. I just didn't connect. And the tedium was like, this sucks. The second one, I don't know why, but as soon as I got out of the tutorial, it's just got that RPG shit I love. I don't know. Like, do I wish there were some magic and some like goblins and stuff? Of course.
of course.
But the tedium, like, I've just accepted it, and it's made it so much better. Like, there's just a lot of shit where it's like, you want to make a potion, you're going to be in here for 5 minutes, like grinding up herbs, doing all this shit. But like, I haven't had a RPG in so long where it's like once the map opens up, I just want to explore. Like, if I hear a peasant talking about something interesting, I'll stop and do like a dumb side quest. There's just so many fucking quests that are, most of them on paper, they suck.
Yeah.
Like, they're not that fun. It's like, go up here and kill these wolves or whatever. I don't know. I'm just getting absorbed.
Do you think a knight with like full armor, do you think he would fuck up wolves? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. As this game has shown me, they jump at me, you bash them with your shield, and then I just hit them with a warhammer in the head. That's going to kill a wolf quick.
Okay.
They can't even get to my meat.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, I think I've seen a video of a big lion getting circled by hyenas, and I think lion should fuck up a hyena. I feel like it would just grab its head and crush it. But the first thing the hyena does is it goes for its balls. It rips out its groin because there's like all those arteries and stuff in the groin. And so,
and like, ow, my balls.
My balls have just been bitten off by a big rabid dog. I feel like a wolf would do the same thing where, they would go for your groin. So I'd make sure to have like a cock armor on. It's a hard place to armor.
Got cock armor on. There's literally like 10 slots where you can put on like a gambeson and then mail and then plate and then like an overshirt.
Have you seen how thick those gambesons are? I feel like that with mail, like I would feel like $1 million. Like even if you came at me with an axe, I'd feel like you might break a bone, but you're not gonna.
I'm at that. I've done the classic. Like apparently the first map of it's basically just like extended tutorial island. I've stayed in it for so long that like I think I'm just too OP for the rest of the game. Because at first, like you've got a lot of armor on, you're walking like, ugh. I've now hit my strength and so many perks and speed and what I can carry that like I'm in full armor. Like, no, I'm almost as fast as a fucking horse, like sprinting down the road. And like you can pick your build. Like you don't have to wear knight's armor. You can wear like a funny little hat and like a Robin Hood outfit, and then you're like, you're quicker, and you can do like just a little rapier if you want. Like it's also nice because you can have 2 set outfits and like switch in between them.
Yeah.
So I've got like my stealth nighttime where I'm like an all black, like a little cat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got like, there's a bunch of bandits. And if they're not well armored, like in full plate, they'll hit you and you're just like, ugh, my health bar doesn't go down even a fucking little. Because like you have to use like, if someone's in plate armor, you use like a blunt weapon.
Yeah.
You have to change up your weapons on how they're geared up. But
dude,
I'm hooked. I'm
gonna buy this game because
you have to get through the first 2 hours before you give up.
I'm
telling you that. I've had
I've
8 friends in that Discord give up and then come back. And then once they get through it, they're like,
I get it.
Okay, I get it now. Yeah.
I've seen a certain clip of someone doing something funny on there, and I was like, I need to play this now. What ruined that game for me was getting like alpha access to Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 in like 2017 or something, and the game fucking sucked. Like there was nothing to do, and I was like, this is so unfinished. So they didn't even have voice lines or anything in the game yet. And I kind of like wrote it off after that. I was just like, nah, I'm done. And then they came out with the game. It got good reviews, and everybody's like, I love the game. I'm like, I saw what it was in alpha. I'm not even going to go back to it because it was just, it was tedious, you know?
Yeah.
And then,
I can't imagine, like, everyone has voice lines. And, like, it's also.
No, I've seen
underrated.
a clip of someone doing something
of the
wild,
most
and I was like, okay.
Well optimized games I've played in so long. Where, like, day one, I'm just getting 110 frames on Ultra.
That's badass.
It just runs really well, which it should be the standard. But I feel like with most new games I get now, it's like,
yeah,
I don't know, they're just not well optimized. You gotta fucking
so
turn them down.
Like Kingdom Come Deliverance versus Headliners, where are you at? Which one's better? Which one has a longer attention?
More monsters and Headliner.
Yeah.
And we did play like 3 hours of that game and had just kind of constant fun.
Yeah.
I'm so pissed off about that. I just saw a TikTok again the other day of that game where they made it look like the most fun thing in the world. And all the comments are like, I've got to get this. And the guy that made the clip was replying like, dude, it's so good. Like, you got to get it. I'm like, this is the fucker that made the game.
Yeah.
Posting these clips. It was fun for a minute. I think not having videos is the biggest missed opportunity. Not being able to take video of shit going on.
Yeah. By the way, for the audience, Headliners is a game that's kind of like Lethal Company, but you go out into a city that's being attacked by monsters.
Like content warning.
And you just take photos of like monsters and get points for it. And it's very poorly done. But
yeah, it's streamer bait.
It was fun for
it. It was fun for like an hour.
An hour, yeah. Don't waste
and then
your money
run
on
into
it.
Every monster type.
Yeah.
And the only things you can buy are cameras that are like marginally different.
Yeah. Spend money and get a camera that has a flash. How's that going to affect my point?
I already had a flash. Now I just got a bigger. I think the most fun I had in that was throwing that body at you.
Yeah, knocking me off the.
Watching your body. Yeah. You just kind of exploded on the ground.
Yeah.
It's a decent idea. If someone makes a better version of it. I just thought content warning was way more fun because the videos that you put together. Like Zeechum and I spent like 30 minutes making like a sex tape in that game. And like, I don't know, this game you can't.
I love
take
at the
pictures
end
where
of
it looks like someone's blowing you. But
at the end of the round on content warning, you can just download the webm of your entire little video.
Yeah, I've got like 10 of those saved. Where I mean, I'll probably never look at them again. I don't even know where they're saved on my computer. But
I think right when I first played the game, I just took one of our rounds and just directly uploaded it to my second channel and just hit public.
It's beauty of a second channel. Well, now your second channel is becoming like more official.
I know. Yeah, it does kind of.
So you probably can't do that level of casual.
Yeah. The casualness.
You're gonna have to make a third channel.
Now let's make a third casual
Spoon
channel.
Spoon Kid
Yeah,
route,
Spoon
dude. You're gonna
Kid
have
3.
General Sam 1, 2, 3.
Wait, what's
4,
the last Spoon Kid that he has? I'm just gonna make Spoon Kid 9.
Dude, I swear he has like 9.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna make Spoon Kid 10. It's gonna be just General Sam stuff.
How much fucking money do you think? Can we have him back on the podcast and ask for some money?
He is very effortlessly funny, so he can just turn almost like a bad stream for me is just garbage. Like,
how do people do
even
that?
a good stream for me is mostly garbage, and I feel bad sending it off to get edited. But yeah, he's just very effortlessly.
He's at 6, and they're all above 100,000 followers.
Yeah. And they're all different. Like they have different.
His main channel hasn't uploaded in a year though. That is a weird trend where people
abandon the first
will
one.
make a second channel. Yeah, and it'll get big. Like
yeah.
And then the first channel just kind of goes. I
mean, something about
technically, I've also done that. Like PoopTube is technically my second channel.
Yeah. It's something about the algorithm that after a while, like your original core fan base that subscribed, they've been alienated, or they're not active anymore, and so YouTube recognizes that and goes like, this channel's like, it has like a fruit-like cycle where they're like, this is a dying channel. And it's just something that, like, you'll notice the people that stay on YouTube, and they're usually people that survive for a long time. They'll usually make multiple channels, and they'll dip over to streaming for a while. They always have like new projects going on. Markiplier keeps having like projects and shows and big events.
We're at Fables 2.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
this one, it's just our AI versions of ourselves talking.
I don't know. I don't believe in that. I'm gonna keep riding my channel.
Yeah, I think you're doing a really good job with the second channel, and
I'm not doing a good job. That's Dugo. Dugo's doing all the heavy lifting there.
You can't really.
I send him gameplay, and then he comes back and he goes, "This needs some green screen work." And I go, "Send me bullet points of what to talk about. I'll riff." And I just sit there and go like, in front of the green screen and like riff for a bit.
That's cool.
I send it back to him, and he hobbles it together.
You still have like some play in it because it's you, but I know what you mean. Like, yeah, I can't. It does suck. Like, I don't really have an active main channel at all, so it's like anytime someone's like, "I like your YouTube," I'm like, "You like Swift. You don't really like me."
It's creative. His creative thing.
Yeah. You might like. And then
I'll send stuff to
like,
Dugo, and I'll have an idea for it, but he definitely like makes it for the second.
People will be like, "This is so much better than the stream." I'm like,
duh.
Yeah, no
First
shit.
of all, duh.
Yeah, here's the 15 minutes of actual content
Yeah.
that I got out of a 10-hour stream.
Yeah.
So that's gonna add up to me.
Yeah, that's what makes me feel bad about streaming. Is like, I assume I get this feeling. I'm in the middle of it. I'm doing it. I'm having a fun time. And then the second there's like a lull where not much is happening, I'm like, what if some guy that is like he's like my biggest fan clicks on my stream right now and goes, "This guy's not being funny for 10 minutes. And I don't like him
Those are
anymore."
also the most heartbreaking messages to get. You get a first-time chatter. It's like,
"This sucks.
This sucks."
Yeah.
It's like,
fuck.
Hey man, you don't actually know I had a really bad morning. Like I spilled half my cereal on my carpet earlier. Okay, I ordered red apples. They gave me green. Like there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
My life's not perfect, okay?
Yeah. Dude, you just gotta wait 4 hours. I'm gonna have a joke that's gonna have you cracking up. Okay, you just gotta stick with it. You gotta be there at the right time because it's really hard to make 8 hours. It's hard to make a podcast for 2 hours, like where you're constantly
talking,
doing stuff. And then now imagine doing it without a guy that's funny, then it's you're
hard.
just talking to a wall.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, by yourself is like, I think like how Charborg does it, where he has his chat is like very intertwined with, they always can control something within the stream.
They're like a character in the story.
Very cool. And such a cool way of streaming where you can, it's engaging. That's the whole point of the stream, is to make an engaging stream.
Is engaging.
Yeah.
No, that is. Yeah, I mean, he does a great job. I envy a lot of people that are just better than me.
Yeah.
It's like you call someone naturally funny.
It's called being human.
Yeah.
I envy people that are even worse than me in every way. I see a homeless guy and I go, I couldn't sit down for 8 hours on the sidewalk.
A little green monster living inside me, filled with envy. Yeah, how's that guy sitting in front of the corner store so long?
Yeah, I can't do that. I got responsibilities. That guy's just fucking soaking in the day, You
see a guy with a bindle and a stick, wow, he's free.
Yeah, free.
How many taxes is that guy worrying about?
None. None. Yeah.
You see a guy with a car, lucky. You sell your car. Envy the guy walking, it's the grass is greener everywhere. There's green grass all around
except
me.
for under my feet is just a big pit of shit, and I'm knee deep in it.
Above me is a fucking thundercloud.
Yep.
Lightning striking the same spot a million times. I got this ungrateful dog. I feed him, I wash him, I do all these. Actually, I was eating, this is the most fat boy shit I've ever done, but I was eating a piece of French toast and didn't realize I had been dripping syrup on top of Pip's head, and he's got a just syrup head right now.
That's awesome.
Which I imagine as a dog is pretty horrible because he can smell that there's syrup on his
smell
forehead,
syrup.
but he can't lick it. But he can't, I'm probably torturing him right now. He keeps looking up at it. I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know how to deal with that though. Give him a bath. Jeez. There's people out there that don't have to do that. And I envy that.
like homeless dogs.
I'm actually
homeless dudes with
most
dogs.
of the time, when I think about it, I'm actually incredibly content with my life and very happy with the opportunities I've been afforded. But it's easier to just.
You remember all those like people I would make fun of, like self-help, like the Jocko Willink type, and where they're like, you need to fucking get out there and do like, just like self-help dude sphere stuff. I watched one of those videos where a guy was like, you just need to be more present. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about yesterday.
Partner.
Just right fucking now. Like whatever you're doing now. This morning I got my latte. Abby made me a latte, and I sat out on the back porch.
God, we've got it bad. Fuck.
Yeah, got it so bad. I had to sip my latte on the back porch in the morning.
It's not steaming.
Yeah,
it's not steaming.
And I was sitting there drinking it. And I was just like trying to just actively enjoy the thing that I was doing right in this moment. And I enjoyed myself quite a bit. And then as soon as I finished
really
I was
hard
like,
for
oh
some
shit,
people.
I got other things to do. And yeah, I always have like things pressing. Like I had to do this. I have a little to-do list, and it's always like looming on me.
I think that might be one of the greatest and worst things about myself is that I can be so incredibly present for like my friends will comment on, or like my girlfriend, like if they just have a TV show on, I've never seen it before. I don't even know what it is. I'll just sit down and start watching it, and I won't say a word.
Yeah.
I'm like instantly engaged in the plot. I'm like, I can just put myself where I am very easily. But the drawback is that sometimes I'll sit here for like 12 hours and be like, oh man, I should probably think about the future.
I'm not going to lie to you. I have had some points of frustration where I'm like, I feel like you're disengaged or something. And then when I finally met you and hung out with you in person, all that dissipated because I just realized like whatever you're doing in that very moment, you're just vibing. You're trying to just vibe. And I think you probably just sit in your living room and go like, hell yeah. Just like sitting there having
sometimes I sit there and go, the walls are closing in. So if I actually turn on my brain, I go,
that's the second I sit down, and because I've tried to do that. I've tried to sit down and just like in the little living room area over here and just enjoy. Yeah. And yeah, I'm like just waiting to get up. I'm like, I have to fucking get up and go do something. There's no way I can just sit here.
I envy even in me where I'm like, I'm the peak of present. It's like people like Cash, 20 years later, he can still just pick a game from Game Pass and be like, I've never heard of this. I'm going to play it for 4 hours. I'm still like super particular about like, it takes me so long to get a game where I'm like sucked in, or like a TV show. I'll sit there and fucking look for 2 hours if I have to pick it by myself. And like, I still know people that are like, holy
Game
shit,
Pass got a bunch of games on it.
Yeah. Like my friend Jaden, all week he's been like, I'm like, what are you playing? He's like, I don't know, I just got to add it to Game Pass. I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to do that for 10 years.
Dude, Brian
like, single
found
player game.
It's called like Finnish Cabin Simulator or something. And you're just a guy, like it's like farming sim level graphics. And you're just a Finnish man, and you have a little vacation summer cottage, and like you go around like throw rocks at bees' nests and go fishing, and there's really nothing going on. And he played it for like 4 days straight of just. I'm like, what are you doing now? He's like, there's a wasp nest on the backside of my house. Got to figure out how to get rid of it. And I'm like,
dude, there's levels to this shit, this present shit. There's some people, they're masters of like watching a paint dry and being like,
hell yeah,
completely fine. I can shut my brain off to a level. I could not play Finnish Life Simulator.
Yeah.
Unless there was also like murder in it and combat or something.
You know what's sad though is I saw a guy that I met a guy recently that, well, actually the whole story is when it was snowing, I was out in the backyard having a fun time, like sledding around on cardboard. And in the backyard, I kept smelling like sewage. And I'd be like, like, is that our neighbor's septic? I'm like, can't be our septic because we had it pumped not that long ago. And I was like, just in case, because right when I would stand over the septic tank, it would smell pretty bad. And so I was like, you know what? I should call. So I got the septic people out there to pump it. They open it up. There's fucking like 4 inches of toilet paper on top of the, like, in the septic tank. The goddamn filter is completely clogged. It's just fucking girls, dude. They sit there, they'll pee just like a little bit, wrap their hand up. It looks like a hornet's nest, one of those paper hornet's nests on the end of their hand. God. And they'll just like pat their vagina once and then throw it in the toilet. And the guy's like, this is the most amount of toilet paper I've ever seen in a septic tank. This thing is really fucked up. And I'm like,
you gotta get some bidets in that house or something.
And he like pulled out the filter. He's like, the filter looks like a big, like, hard plastic screen that's in like a cone shape. And he's like, you're going to have to get a new one of these. They're $125. I'm like, I mean, it's hard plastic. Can't you just hose it out? He's like, you can. I'm like, I'm not.
Oh man.
I'll pay the $125, I guess.
I'll give you 50 to clean it. I'll give you 200 to clean it with your tongue.
That is such like a hardball like sales tactic. He's like, yeah, all yours, dude. You want to clean off this septic filter and go?
Do you want to be a fucking pussy or a man?
I was like, I'll pay for the new one. But
pay the pussy fee.
While we're sitting there diagnosing the septic and everything, and I'm like in my mind going like, all right, how am I going to tell these kids that if they use this many sheets of toilet paper for just a pee, I'm going to have to break their legs? And the guy next to me goes like, first of all, puts his hand on my shoulder. I'm like, you've just been digging in a septic tank. Don't do that. He goes, do I know you from somewhere? And I'm like, maybe. He's like,
oh, in that moment, you're like, fuck, because you know
this guy. Yeah, he's just like, I know you. You're that guy that used to play Sea of Thieves. He's seen like I've made like one Sea of Thieves video. It was the last thing he watched of mine.
Guy that's only watched Sea of Thieves videos.
I've made one. I think I've made one Sea of Thieves video, and he's just like, yeah, I love that video, man. And I'm like, oh, do you still play it? He's like, haven't played a game since. He's like, I had a kid and then I got rid of all that stuff. Had to grow up. And then he takes the big hose and puts it down in the septic and breaking up. Yeah. Punching the toilet paper. Yeah. It was just so sad to just watch this guy like, no, that's old me. I got a kid now and I got a job. I don't play that.
It's a very realistic life path too for most people. Yeah. It's just being like,
because then he was just like, you still play Sea of Thieves? I was like, I haven't played that since that video you watched. He's like, oh shit, what do you do now? He's like, Call of Duty or something? I'm like, there's more out there. There's different things out there. But
more than Septic and Sea of Thieves? Why are you telling me?
Well, what's funny though is the toilet paper was so like, I've seen videos of people pumping septics. I've seen them before in my old job, like people doing septic work. If there's like a lot of shit clumps and stuff, they'll take a garden hose and like spray it in there to like break it up so they can suck it up with the big hose. And the guy, for the audience, by the way, a septic tank is where all your shit goes from your toilet. You have to get it pumped to get things that aren't being broken down by the microbes and stuff that are in there. And they'll bring in this giant tanker truck into your driveway and then get a huge hose that looks like a fire hose and they shove it down in there and they just turn it on and it like sucks all the shit up. He got to the layer of toilet paper and was like, I can't get this. And I was like, well, the garden hose is right there. You can spray it. He looks at me and goes, that ain't going to work for this, buddy. I got to do something else. He goes to the truck and turns the pump on reverse and pumps all the shit from a different house into my septic tank at full blast. So it's like a fire hose of diarrhea. And he's just going like, just spraying.
Backsplash.
He's spraying shit at such a pace. It's obliterating this toilet paper. And then he resucks the tank dry. I was like, this is fucking horrific. This is the worst job I've ever seen.
I'm going to go record a podcast right now. I'm never going to complain again.
This is the worst job I have ever seen in my life.
Either of you make a Sea of Peas joke when you saw that?
No.
Nah. Yeah, dude, something like that would make me fucking. That's 4 podcasts this month. We're doing 4 episodes this month. I don't want to have to. No one wants to have to do that, but I don't want to. Look at these soft ass hands, man.
Dude, those are not Roto-Rooter hands.
I'm going to have to worry about, like, if I become a homeowner, that's something I so don't worry about now. Like, I'll lay a nest down before I shit onto the nest, wipe, then dude wipe. And then sometimes as a precaution, I'll go into the toilet after I've wiped and thrown in there, and I'll rip up each of the little pieces and I'll break them into a bunch. And I'll mash up the poopy. No, I just don't. I just will, I'll wipe and wipe.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got to wipe and wipe. And
well, I've lived in one place that had sewage. Not sewage.
Maybe I'm on city
sewage
or whatever. I don't
Being
know.
on sewer is like, dude, you can just flush and walk away. You don't even have to you don't even have to think about it.
I'd flush mice down the toilet that I catch in my humane traps. I'd flush fucking just trash.
Yeah.
Garbage. My recycling. If I forgot to take the trash out, I'd start breaking it up, flushing it. Because it goes in the sewer, which is where the
that's like a black hole
trash
down there.
And then they clean it up and make it our drinking water.
Yeah, I put birth control down there. They say you're not supposed to do that, but
mice just filled with rat poison.
Yeah. Have you heard the theory
downstream.
that that's why men don't have as high of testosterone now? Is that we know how to take contaminants out of the water, but we don't know how to take hormones out of the water. So when you like flush like birth control and stuff, like estrogen is like in the water supply, and they don't know how to get rid of it. Yeah. Explains my little boobies.
I'm not complaining, okay? Give me the smooth skin, these little titties. Sometimes I can suspend disbelief just enough to help out with my one-man band mechanism. I've got something that just kind of squeezes them. Yeah, I should probably get on some testosterone, man. I probably get. What are we doing these days? We're doing that blue shit, that pool cleaner or whatever. We're doing tests. Have you seen that stuff? What's it called? Methadone blues. RFK's putting it in his water.
Yeah. I saw that. He put like a little tincture in his water.
It looks like a fucking Fortnite juice or something. It looks like, I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Shield juice.
I don't know. RFK's a pussy, dude. I'll just drink contaminated water like a man.
I like pool cleaner.
Yeah, okay,
I'm
dude.
scared of estrogen water.
And I like fluoride, and I like the estrogen that's giving me kind of these supple features.
Yeah.
Have you seen my ass, RFK? Okay, you still want me to you don't want me to have no estrogen? I've got these birthing hips. I could shit out a fucking brick right now, and I'm not complaining. I can grow a mustache. That's all I need. That's all the testosterone. I can't grow a beard, but this is as far as I need.
Maybe I could use. I'll use some tests.
I'll
get some tests. The problem is whenever dudes get on tests, their head gets bigger. Can't afford that. I cannot.
We cannot. I can't believe we didn't bring that up to Jason Kingsley or whatever. That's a sought after thing in Hollywood is men with big heads because it looks better on camera. We didn't even tell him how big our heads were.
That's true. Yeah.
Because Judge Dredd probably needs a smaller head so the helmet doesn't look weird.
Yeah. But Goon, that he completely blows our head in twain.
Goon, choke.
Yep.
Neck snap.
Oh, dude, you choke me and my head starts turning red. You'll remember that. That's perfect for the big screen.
Growing. It looks like a balloon that you're squeezing. Yeah, people are gonna remember.
Remember those old Airhead commercials? That's what it would look like. Head would just keep getting bigger.
And people remember that. If you see that in a movie and you see that Goon and something else, you go, "That was the guy that got his head blown."
Yeah, that guy's got a head for Hollywood. I could tell the second he started getting choked.
Yeah, he doesn't have kind of main character charisma or looks or intelligence.
Well, you can tell he's been drinking too much estrogen water.
Yeah,
but
you can tell his water's not.
Yeah,
devoid
if he was
of
frog,
hormones.
he'd be gay. Okay, that's how much estrogen water he's been drinking.
Yeah. I guess if I was French, that would have something to do with it. But yeah, we fucking French.
I got a French friend now, and I won't handle that slander.
What?
Yeah.
Very cool. Yep. Let me hear about him.
He's into fashion.
Tell me all about him.
He's into music.
Of course. Berets.
What's weird is he's really into drifting cars, but he doesn't have a driver's license. Kind of odd. But he's a cool guy. He's a funny dude.
Does he have like an RC car he drives?
No, he plays Assetto Corsa a lot in Discord.
I got it. I mean, it's like I'm really into Kingdom Come right now. I don't have a fucking. Didn't get that Knight's helmet.
Or Knight's helmet.
I actually do have a lot of swords, but I don't have.
I do have access, by the way, to some blacksmithing equipment. Any chance?
That would be an awesome
Do
video.
you want to make not maybe a
keep in mind,
sword,
this is
a
pure
knife?
hubris, but I've been blacksmithing in the game and I get it.
Yeah.
I think I get the steps. Heat it up, pull on the billows, take it to the anvil, pound it evenly.
Yep.
Put it back in the billows, blow it, heat it up, pound it evenly, that back and forth for a while, and then you quench it.
Yep.
After reheating it one more time.
Now, what's really badass is my uncle used to quench it in like diesel oil or something. Like it was like some.
Didn't you say you used to like fucking like swallow it and pull it out? He had like scars all over his belly and.
Yeah, no, he was insane. He didn't have any like safety stuff on anything. I would cut his grass and his lawnmower was great because it was so light. And I was like, dude, this is the coolest lawnmower in the world. He's like, yeah, it's because I yanked all those safety features off. Like all the like the little thing that guides where the grass goes soaring out, that he yanked that off. All the fucking thing that keeps like metal from shooting back and hitting your legs while you're mowing, he yanked that off. It was just a light mower.
And he's dead now, right?
Yeah, he died. The lawnmower didn't get him. Cantaloupe did. He choked on the cantaloupe.
Okay, last blacksmithing question. What kind of equipment?
Okay, he's got
Big gloves.
Yeah, well, the safety stuff might be few and far between.
Yeah,
he's got.
This guy doesn't sound like he'd have an apron or gloves.
He has we got him an apron, but he was kind of a fat guy, so he's like, I don't want this pussy shit. It looks like a big long tie on me because he's so wide. His apron didn't.
Austin Powers, fucking.
Yeah, it looked like he was about to go eat some fucking lobster or something. Like it wasn't like apron sized on him, but he has an apron, I think, and. He's got all the hammers and tongs and stuff. He made a lot of his own tongs, which is awesome.
Do you trust him?
Trust the tongs? Yeah, they're heavy as shit. Yeah, big ass tongs. He's got anvil on a stump, classic anvil.
Very cool.
Anvil location. He's got. Last time I saw, he had plenty of charcoal and coke ready to go. He had. His forge it's kind of badass. It's imagine like a big propane tank, where like the end is. He like just cut off the end and turned it on its side, and I feel
like we are going to blow up.
No. It's just open. It's like imagine like a big bowl.
Okay.
And that's all full of charcoal, and then he has the burner underneath that has like a fan going to it. And so you don't have to do bellows or anything. You just turn on a fan and it just goes like, and then he has the top half of that, I guess like the top half of that propane tank, like over it as like a hood. And then he has a vacuum to like suck out all the shit. It's in a barn. And so it's like, it's fully covered and everything. And
you're gonna need some belt grinders.
Yeah.
And one of those belts with a sharpener or something.
Yep. He's got all that. Oh, and then the beautiful part, so that we don't wear out our little arms. I remember he built this thing. It's not a pneumatic hammer, but it's like, imagine like a hammer that comes down that is brought up by springs. And so,
oh wait, you
can put your foot on it and basically slam down, or use your hand and just come down and flatten.
And that's in place of.
I mean, yeah, if you want to do like easy flattening, and then all the detail work you do with a hammer.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How do you think we would get seriously injured if we tried using it?
That's
Or
the
do you
beautiful
think we
part.
could?
Yeah. It's just heating up metal. I think the worst thing we would do is probably accidentally grab something too hot and go, fuck, my hands burned. But I think you would have to really fuck up to kill yourself blacksmithing.
What would we make? If we could make a little
2
dagger or
knives.
something, that'd be really cool. My brother's dad was a blacksmith. I have one of his swords here. Very intricate, very cool. He wasn't my dad, though.
Okay, so
I didn't really learn much.
My uncle always called this, he was like, this is like the lame shit. Like only newbies do this. I'm like, I'm a newbie. That's fine with me. You get a railroad spike, and it's already basically the shape of a knife. You just heat up one side, and then you beat it into a fucking blade shape.
And sharpen
it. You got yourself a knife.
And then we can make we can do some woodworking, make a handle.
Yeah.
A little drill it in there, put some screws. I don't know how it works exactly, but
yeah.
That would be very cool.
That would
then we could, when we're done, we both cut our hands with it.
Yep.
Predator high five.
And then
Turns out
we turn to go turn off the camera, and we stumble and fall into the forge and get burned horrifically.
You fall into the forge, I fall under the hammer, and then it flattens me out into a knife.
I'm on my back burning, and then I see the knife, and it falls, goes hilt deep in my chest. Oh! Dude, my aunt would fucking go insane if she's like, all right, boys, have fun, be careful. And then 30 minutes later, she goes out there with like lemonade for us, and holy fuck.
I'm completely pancaked and you're a crisp.
Yeah. All that's left of me is just like my legs hanging out of the forge. The rest of me's a skeleton. Yeah, your body is there and your head is completely flat in the pneumatic hammer.
And the knife's also stabbed in my chest. Looks like double murder suicide.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah, that'd be great if there's a camera there and she's like afraid for a long time. Is there a murderer? She watches it back. No, these guys, they're just the dumbest motherfuckers around.
Make sure to put this on YouTube. Yeah. If we die, get the footage. It's called an SD card. You're going to want to pull that out.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Abby was kind of like
get your ass
hinting that dinner was ready in like 5 minutes. So kind of have to go.
You're the greener grass, bitch. Fuck you.
Dude,
you've got the green grass.
Dude, my grass is so fucking green over here. I've told you guys my like morning routine of waking up with the eucalyptus in the shower, and Abby,
family that loves me.
While I'm in the shower, Abby brings me a latte. Abby fucked around and got.
You get done with the podcast, go up to immediate dinner.
Meal ready. What's today? Say Tuesday. I get my penis sucked on tonight. I don't know.
Oh my
god. You know, if I could do anything tonight. You know. Anyways,
somebody should fucking kill this guy and take his life.
No. I was about to say my life actually had a hiccup. Abby bought a goddamn new mat for the shower, and it's made out of silicone or something like that. It's so stinky. It stinks. It reeks of like rubber.
I don't want your life.
And yeah, now I can't smell my darn eucalyptus in the morning on account of this stinky shower mat. So, you know, grass isn't all green here. Okay, there's
You're
patches.
in a fucking septic tank, and it stinks.
Yeah,
my life rules. I'm renting, and I've got nothing going for it.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Our grasses are green.
Yeah.
Yours is like golf grass. It's like,
which is funny because when I was over at your place, I was like, dude, this guy just fucking watches movies and gets to smoke weed and hang out with Happy all day. And I assume you guys bang whenever I'm not there. So I mean, it sounds like an awesome setup.
Yeah, he's like a spring-loaded hammer. And I'm the fucking raw iron.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is interesting how perspective. And then I'm thinking this guy's got a wife and kids and all this beautiful home. And I mean, I would kill you just for the meals. Just for a meal to be waiting for me when I walked up these stairs.
You think it's all awesome until you're like putting a kid in a headlock to brush their teeth before bed because they refuse to brush their teeth. And
that's true.
Or I got Madeline. I thought it would be nice. Hey, the Scholastic Book Fair's in town. Why don't you get some Goosebumps? Those are banger books. They're good books.
Good parent.
And she gets Goosebumps. One look at the cover of Night of the Living Dummy. The dummy looks like
Peewee.
Looks like Peewee.
Let's bring in Peewee.
And scares the fuck out of her. And so now she's like having a hard time sleeping because of her Goosebumps book.
You should put that in her room.
Oh, she would kill me. I know. I want them to sleep well because then he does look freaky.
I mean, it's honestly like Peewee Herman, if you knew nothing about him, would be like, that guy should like get me. Yeah, I know. I don't love the way Peewee Herman doll looks. And I love Peewee when I was a kid.
Yeah. I could see it being scary. I could see. But seriously though, like
Peewee Herman being scary if you just saw him like doing his little. If you're,
I had to convince her that Paul Rubens was a real guy. I was like, she's like, it's an actual person.
Tell her
I was
about
like,
the theater.
Yeah, I didn't tell her that part. By the way, I think he was unjustly canceled for that. I mean, like, what else are you supposed to do in a porno theater?
It's like, what, did everyone else there get canceled?
It just seems like, I don't know. Like Peewee Herman
Well,
canceled for wiping his ass
Peewee
after
Herman.
shitting. Like, it's
When he gets off set, you know, he's a grown ass
Yeah,
man
whatever
that's
he-
got needs. He wants
I
to
feel like
work out.
those dudes at like Sesame Street are probably smoking weed, like right there, like underneath Elmo, like while they're doing it. He's probably got a joint in his mouth. There's no way.
Probably sucking the little Elmo dick down there and fucking going crazy.
There's no
Yeah,
way
I mean,
they weren't just like fucking around, and they're still people.
They're probably banging each other while they're doing the puppets up here. They got their other. You know how good a hand job from a puppeteer would be? Insane.
How are you jacking me off and stroking my balls with one hand?
Yeah. You know when you do that thing where you like grab someone's arm and their fingers
Yes,
clench
yeah.
up? There's got to be a spot in the asshole where a puppeteer could make me dance. Could make me move. Make my mouth open and close if he touches the right. Oh! When he hits the G spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just something to
Doing
think
like
about.
that 5-finger exploding heart technique, but to your prostate. He's like, yeah, pressure points. Yeah.
I'd feel like there's strings.
Yeah, he got you doing like river dances.
I mean, bouncing around, my feet like not really touching the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, am I doing this? Lightly floating.
Oh,
Cool.
man.
Thank God we said that before we hit stop.
Yeah. But seriously, though, I need to go eat dinner.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go eat another bowl of cereal. That's my own damn fault. I don't really have anyone to blame for that. I'm lazy.
All right.
Two bowls
Bye,
of cereal,
guys.
Bachelor life.
Bye.
All right, see you guys.